So
Yeah,
Feel correct,
more
get your
professional.
yes. Yeah. So have you guys played turn-based RPGs? Do you guys play a lot of this?
I play
Nah.
Pokemon. Does that count?
That's like
Yeah.
unless you're playing the meta. That's like baby turn-based RPG.
I do play RPGs. They just don't tend to be. Well, sometimes they tend to be turn-based. Sometimes they aren't.
Listen, I'm talking about like a real turn-based RPG where when you're fighting a boss, sometimes it could take you an hour just to fight it, and you still could lose. All right, that's what I mean.
I heard a cool thing that happens in the new Final Fantasy game.
Which is
Gay shit.
you'd have to ask Tony about that.
Tony? Yeah, no, I'll hit him up. I'll be like, hey, Tony, is it true that we get gay shit in the Final Fantasy game?
Well, you better ask him because I didn't play Final Fantasy 16. I thought it looked boring.
I'll hit him up right now. I'll go to the server. I'll go to video games if I can find it. At Tony.
Jake, how can you find a love scene boring, man? Wow.
Well, first off, Final Fantasy has had plenty love scenes. Okay. Secondly, it's Final Fantasy, and I know like it's rooted in the old D&D style fantasy things, but I don't know if it's just me. I think that stuff is boring. I see it everywhere. I like when Final Fantasy does like fantasy meets technology, like Final Fantasy 7, or like 8, or like I kind of like 10 the way it's told, even though it goes against what I just said. But I like 10 stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or 6. 6 is a great Final Fantasy game. It's my favorite. So
I like when Yoshitaka Amano does the art because he's one of my favorite artists.
What he do? What he draw?
He drew a lot of like the character designs and like the overall like background stuff for a lot of the games.
Like which one?
The original. I don't remember which game he went up to, but definitely the originals.
If he did 6, he's a goat.
I think he did. You should have looked that up.
Very well. Austin, probably some life problems happen, but that's okay.
Oh, he won't be here tonight?
I don't know. I just see we should be here by now.
He's dead to me.
Oh,
we'll give him
if he doesn't
some
get here, he's dead to me.
But yeah, I spent the last hour fighting the same boss. And I mean, like, that was, I don't mean I kept losing and I had to do it over and over again for an hour. I meant it took me an hour just to beat him in one go. So,
damn.
Yeah. That's term-based RPGs, Cryptid. All right. Sometimes you'll run into if you're at the final boss, especially, it might take you an hour just to beat it. And you could still lose at the very end.
So. You see, Jake, while you're playing games on your console, I'm out there actually practicing with a sword. Oh.
Good for you. You like to practice old ways.
Hey, you can't pull that on me. I earn my own sword taekwondo. So
okay, a Shaolin broadsword and a straight sword. Two swords under my belt.
Mine was like a curved one. I only have the one. It had a black hilt, a little bit of had little wraps around the hilt, and then it was just a little bit curved. So nice silver thing, and even had a sheath. That was so cool. But I wanted to practice with it more, but I didn't have anywhere good to practice with it.
But
you have a backyard, don't you?
I did, but it was hot.
Yeah, it's cold right now. Cryptid, I literally told you that it was like 100 something right now. Well, almost.
I have to practice outside in my place at night, and I have to run the risk of running into a skunk. So if I can run that risk, you guys can practice outside.
I walked to and from work in this goddamn almost 110 degree fucking heat, man. My only protection from the sun is a fucking umbrella.
Real shit. I'm gonna tell you guys a story of what happened, and it freaked me out. So, like last night, what was it? Last night, I think I was editing, and so I had this. So earlier I had like chili or something, and I had it like sitting on my counter. So I'm like going over to eat the chili, and then I look down and I realize ants are like all in it. And I ate.
Could have been worse.
Yeah,
oh,
I had to spray that shit with Raid. I don't know where they came from. I tried to track them down, but I couldn't came from.
Oh, the other day, I went outside to like go into the main house so that I can get, I don't know, probably talk to my mom or something. I don't fucking remember what I was doing exactly. But I heard this loud buzzing sound, I guess you could say. I turned next to me. I jumped obviously, and I looked at it and I saw a cicada for the first time in my life. Right by my door. That little bitch.
Was it a riveting experience?
I don't know. I didn't like it when it started making cicada noises right by my ear because that shit is loud.
Listen, that's no more terrifying than when you hear a bee buzz in your ear or a wasp. That shit is scares the shit out.
I mean, I know a cicada's not gonna bother me as much as like a roach, but you know, I don't like roaches either. But at least roaches don't make giant ass loud ass fucking noise. They're just annoying. And I can't squish them because I'm scared that they're gonna be pregnant and I'm gonna get roach babies all over my broom.
Aww.
Hey, Roe v. Wade was overturned. Okay, you can't do that anymore.
Hey, yes, I can. In my state, I can. I don't know about your state, but in my state, I can still do that.
Oh man, I haven't been back in my state in a minute, but hopefully someday I'll get back there. We'll see. I'm still debating. Look, I'm debating. Like, so next week is the Barbie movie, which we all agree that's a must see. There's like no debate.
Yeah, we're gonna see it the weekend after.
Well, no. You're gonna see it the weekend after. We're reviewing it when you do, but I'm seeing it the week off. So.
Please do. I'll be at Comic-Con, which is in about a week, and I'm fucking terrified.
Why can't you go to the movie? Isn't there a theater around Comic-Con you and your friends could go to?
Bitch, I'm going with my mom, my brother, and on the second day with my aunt because my brother is not old enough to drink alcohol.
Have them tag along with you, man. Come on.
Yeah, but I'm already committed to Comic-Con, so
you can do both. Don't be like the Flash.
I know. I know I could do both, but I'm actively choosing not to do both for the sake of my own sanity. And plus, I already have an outfit idea for this fucking movie, so I want to be able to do that. I just need to take one of my jackets and cut off the sleeves because I fucking hate those plastic ass sleeves. I need to do my version of Earring Magic Ken.
So news just for your ears and your ears only, and also the audiences. So I think that we're doing a double upload this week, unless if something goes wrong. I almost had one video up today, but what wound up happening was I forgot to safely unplug my hard drive before turning off my computer, which is a big no-no. Because if you leave your thumb drive or hard drive in your computer when you turn it off, those files can get deleted or corrupted.
Oh no! So, is everything okay?
I had to stay up an extra couple of hours trying to recover everything. I had to find a program that lets me recover shit that I lost. So.
Oh no!
It's not every day I talk about Captain America issue on the 4th of July, man. So be a hero this one.
I recorded the Pride stuff for you. I did that separately.
Yeah, I have it. That was the video. That was the video that was gonna go up today, but then I lost the work I had. All I had to do was add a background song and I was good. But
I still recorded all the Pride stuff literally a couple hours before the month ended.
Yeah.
Just remember that, audience. I had to re-record my entire Pride section.
Yeah. In fact, let me do something
because Cryptid wanted to be a bitch.
Yeah, Cryptid. It's entirely no one else to blame but you. There you go. So.
All right. 10:30 mark. You guys want to start?
Yeah, let me turn on my mic. Okay.
Gotcha.
I am now ready.
Right. Cool. Let me start us off. Welcome to Comic Fanatic 2.0. You're here with me, Cryptid Seeker 415. Going to talk to you guys about amazing, fantastic America later tonight. Oh, and also Fantastic Four and Spider-Man. So, yeah.
My name is Jake Talano, the warrior who walks the path of cold steel.
I'm Richter, also known as the Witch of Jotunhiem, pronouns they, he, and it's too fucking hot for this.
There you go. Well, let's start us off, guys, with the media news of the week. Starting off, the Deadpool 3 news, which we got an announcement that both Elektra will be in this movie, as well as our first glimpse of Wolverine.
Also, alleged, but Channing Tatum might be coming as Gambit.
I remember for years. There were a lot of people wanted Wolverine in his classic outfit, and then I remembered as the years went by, people were like, even though Guardians of the Galaxy had come out, people came out and were like, "Oh, you guys are stupid. They can't translate the Wolverine outfit in real life." I was like, and so sure enough, now it's out, and I think it was translated well.
My only complaint is that he has sleeves, but I can live with it.
Well, I was just about to point that out too, because you all know the reason why Hugh Jackman is opting to wear a full body suit, right?
But he's not just wearing a full body suit; he's wearing armor.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so he doesn't have to really build his body up for this role, you know? Because, hey, that's a physically demanding task to build up the body for Wolverine, you know?
Yeah, I'll give you that. We all saw Logan.
Yeah.
I'm assuming we all saw Logan.
And, you know, Hugh Jackman ain't getting any younger, you know? So.
What do you mean? He's Wolverine. Of course he's going to get younger.
You compare you compare the Logan we had and look at him from X-Men 1. You're like, damn, he looks like such a baby in X-Men 1, you know?
Yeah, that was like over 20 years ago. Holy shit. When did the first movie come out?
Early 2000s, I think 2001.
Oh shit, I wasn't even born when the first X-Men movie came out.
Yeah. But yeah, honestly, I think that's the reason why we're getting the yellow and blue full body suit for Wolverine. You know, so we can ease up on Hugh Jackman having to work vigorously for that body. Okay, any opinions on the suit itself, the design wise?
I like Logan's suit, but I also like Wade's new suit.
I thought it was okay.
Subtle, but it's more comic accurate.
You know, we're going to have to get a new Deadpool suit at some point in this movie just for merchandise reasons. So, expecting that.
Also, Mobius.
Wait.
It's also alleged, yes.
Wait. Speaking of, before we get to Mobius, like going back to Hugh Jackman costume thing, how come he's not wearing the mask?
Give it time.
Okay, just asking.
But so Mobius is in this movie.
Allegedly, yes.
Yeah, well, cast list, wasn't he?
Because this movie is set in the MCU, so
it would make sense to tie it in. Hey, your timeline shouldn't exist. We're erasing it, and Deadpool has to find a way to keep his timeline alive.
You know who I want to see in this movie? You know who I want to come back? I want to see Colossus, Negasonic, and Yukio come back.
I think it was confirmed Colossus was going to be back.
I don't know, to be honest with you.
Gotcha. Negasonic and Yukio could be fine too. I mean, the first on-screen LGBT couple in a superhero film. After all,
in a film, not in general.
There's an LGBTQ couple in superhero medium.
Yeah, there's Eternals.
There you go.
But Eternals came out after Deadpool 2, so
yes,
Deadpool 2 does still technically stand.
Keep in mind, Deadpool himself is a pansexual character, so you can say this is the first.
Even though Marvel doesn't like to acknowledge it, especially for their movies.
No, you watched Deadpool 2, which it's Ryan Reynolds who was pushing the, expand the sexuality of Deadpool in that film, specifically with Colossus.
We all saw it. We all know. I'm just hoping that we get Alpha Flight so I can get my stupid 1610 bullshit. Don't worry about it.
Wait, do you really want to see Deadpool hit on North Star that badly?
No, I want a one-off dialogue with Colossus and North Star.
Okay.
Because if the audience doesn't know, in the Ultimate Universe in 1610, Colossus and North Star do date. It's kind of cute. Not gonna lie, I read Ultimate X-Men. It was actually pretty cute.
Wow, what's wrong with Deadpool and North Star, man? What, you don't think Deadpool's good enough for him?
No, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Besides the fact that North Star is married, which I love that for him.
What?
Jean-Paul is too much of a dick and Wade Wilson can be a little too much. So those two would just not work out together at all. It just would not work. You know, I'll let the Spidey pool shippers have what they want for this one time, but don't even try to ship those two.
So, which basically what you're telling me is those two together would be a dick measuring contest.
Low key, yeah, kind of, but one has more of a stick up his ass than the other, so probably figure out who I'm talking about. But anyways.
Yeah. Jake, you were saying something earlier?
Witch's head is gonna explode. And it's gonna be the year 3000, and we're gonna reboot the whole superhero craze all over again. And Marvel's gonna be like, and starting us off will be Alpha Flight.
I will lose my shit. I will lose my shit. That's the only reason why I'm still living is because I'm spiting the gods. Give me Alpha Flight, Marvel. Give it to me now.
And then Witch is gonna be in the theater watching the movie, and when the credits roll, he's just gonna slump over and rest and finally let go.
Just wait. I have to wait till the post-credit scene, guys.
Yeah,
you'd be like, my work in this world is done at last. So
give me some gay bitches, and we're good.
Okay, but speaking of work, keep in mind, the other part to this news piece is Elektra is coming back.
I did hear about that.
Yeah. Was she good in Daredevil in the show?
Hey Siri, play Bring Me to Life by Evanescence.
That was a good segment.
The Elektra movie was not good.
No, I'm talking about no. Are you is this the Elektra from the Elektra movie or the one from Netflix?
She's the same person from no. The Elektra from the 2003 Daredevil film, as well, is the same person who did the Elektra movie.
No, this is the one from the old movie, not the one from from the Netflix.
Yes,
correct. This is the old movie.
This is Ben Affleck Daredevils.
Okay, that's what I was confused about. So there.
Why are you Confucian?
Can anybody tell me what the plot's going to be or what's going to happen in this film?
So Mobius
I think it's going to be like a buddy cop thing, but with multiversal travel.
Hang on. Let me cook.
Okay, here, cook. Go cook.
So Mobius found out these old timelines exist, and he's like, "All right, it's the TVA's job to cut them loose." So it's going to be the TVA versus these heroes, and they got to go around escaping so they can live and stuff. And it's going to end with Daredevil being able to go to the MCU.
Deadpool?
I mean, Deadpool. And also
not all red guys are the same, Jake. Not all red guys are the same, Jake. All right.
Hellboy, Knuckles, Daredevil, they all look the same to me. All right.
One's from Dark Horse and one's from Sega, dude. Get your facts straight.
Yeah. But speaking as a Deadpool fan, I just like the idea that I don't know how this is all going to come together, to be honest. Like, you're adding X-Men, you're adding Fox, other Fox movies, you're adding MCU characters and plots. I'm like, this is going to be this is everything you can put into a blender. And I think that works so well for a Deadpool movie to go the route of, you know?
Yeah, we see payoff.
Exactly. I mean, who else could we expect to pop up here, you know?
It was rumored that that Chris Evans was gonna pull back up as Johnny Storm one more time, but I highly doubt it. So we're probably gonna get some old Fantastic Four stuff, maybe. Allegedly.
That card is still on the table, which he's just gonna be there for a cameo, like.
I know that.
Yeah. But yeah.
All my gay bitches, and then I'll be good.
But I'm curious, audience, what do you think the plot's gonna be? Like I said, I think it's gonna be Mobius leading the charge to kill these people. But that's just my idea. What's your idea?
Put it in the comments below, or else Austin will find you.
He will, and also like and subscribe.
Yay! While you guys do that, let's move on to the next topic. You do the honors, Jake.
Oh, Blue Beetle cast responds to the internet being stupid as usual.
Yeah.
I'm actually on the side of the internet in this, to be honest.
Can I be in defense of the Blue Beetle cast real quick? Can I be in defense real quick?
Okay, but hang on. I got one thing to say. Cryptid, you betrayed me for the last time.
Hey, I have personal experience, looking at actual audience reactions to that one snippet from the trailer. All right, so I'm gonna be bringing that up.
Can I get my piece real quick? I'll make it quick.
Go ahead.
Okay. So we don't know what Batman's gonna be like in this rebooted universe. I feel like we can all agree on that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know the story.
Like, we don't know. We honestly don't know. Second of all, he literally beats up mentally ill people, and besides trying to like fix the problems in Gotham, he just beats up mentally ill people and puts them in asylums, not actually trying to help them out. Like, don't get me wrong, some of them are probably can't really be helped that much, but some probably can. I'm like, how much you use that Bruce Wayne money, bitch? Use the Bruce Wayne money.
He donates to charities all the time,
Well, Cryptid, it's your turn. Let me hear your defense.
Oh, okay. I kind of find this a little suspicious that they're responding to that little snippet right after the failure that was the last DC film, Flash. So, look, the possibilities of this Blue Beetle movie bombing, it's on the table.
Yeah, because it's DC, dude. Because DC can't get their footing with the movie.
Yeah, and they purposely put that scene at the last bit of that movie just to get people angered and riled up on the internet. And honestly, they need to stop it with that and thinking okay, if we have people outraging on the internet, that means we're going to get more seats on the table.
Yeah, but
no. Let me finish this. No, that's not. You're not going to add seats on the table. What you're going to do is get a bunch of those hater channels, more views, more subscribers, and that stuff, because they're going to be reacting to this, and they're going to be getting a lot of profit from angering over this.
Yeah, well, they're fucking lame. So
I see what you're saying, Cryptid, but here's my take, and this is why I don't understand the internet at all. I think the only reason that line is there is just because mentioning Batman is getting seats. I don't think they were trying to make anyone angry. I think they were trying to get
just mention Batman.
No,
you didn't have to call him fascist.
No, we haven't seen the movie. I'm going to speculate that that's probably the only time Batman gets mentioned in the movie. Maybe one other time, but that's maybe the first time in the movie. And so they're like, "Oh, look, audience, we mentioned Batman, and also look, we attached a funny joke to it." Well, quote funny, obviously, it's not funny, but yeah.
I mean, I got a small chuckle out of it.
Look, when I was going to see a movie, right? I forgot which movie I was seeing, but when it came to the trailers, the Blue Beetle trailer showed, and I remember the kids right next to me, at the end of the trailer, were asking their dad, what's a fascist?
Kids, Google is free.
And I'm thinking in the back of my mind, Blue Beetle is a property that's supposed to, also attract the younger generation. But now they have to learn what a fascist is. I mean, even the fathers looking at them saying,
our world right now, especially in this damn country.
Even the father looked at them and said, "Yeah, it just means a bad person." So Batman's a bad person.
Well, no, it's
especially when he's with his boy band and they destroy shit while also being a mentally ill people and aliens.
let's get something clear. Even by definition, Batman can't be a fascist. He's not a political leader.
Yes.
You're not wrong, but people can act fascist-like.
That goes to my point. You didn't need that scene there. It feels like if this movie bombs, that scene in particular is going to be used as one of the reasons as to why people aren't going to come and see this movie.
I'm going to go see it just to spite these bitches.
Here's where I can't get with the internet on board. No, it's a nobody saying this. It's just some guy who doesn't know Batman personally. So it doesn't matter what he thinks. We know who Batman is. And sure enough, on the street, even if you look at a celebrity, like let's take any celebrity, I'm sure everyone has a different opinion on what that celebrity is to them. Some people might like that celebrity. Other people might think they are a tyrant or a fascist or racist, transphobic, yada, yada, yada. It doesn't matter. That's what I'm saying. I think people put it away.
It matters when you're getting. It matters when you need to get seats on the table, Jake. Keep that in mind.
That's what I'm saying.
We live in a capitalist hellscape. I'm just letting everyone know right now.
But that's what I'm saying. Like I'm on two sides of the fence on this. Like Cryptid, I get what you're saying, and if I'm in the, and to your credit, if I'm in the editing room, like I said, I think they just thought it was a harmless joke. But if I'm in the editing room, those are things you have to keep in mind, though.
No, Jake, they didn't think it was a harmless joke. They literally admitted the director and the actor who's playing Blue Beetle said they intentionally put that to invoke a reaction from people.
Oh, okay.
I mean, did it though?
It did.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think they succeeded on that.
But even still, like regardless, you have to consider that makes them look stupid because regardless, you have to consider your audience's reaction, and as Cryptid was pointing out, you don't want to put anything that's going to push them away. Like I said, like Flash review that came out, go check it out. I
got
thought
a lot of views.
I thought the Flash was a great movie, but I feel like the reason a lot of people didn't go see it was specifically because of Ezra Miller, which is but that's the way the world is. People get turned by movies off simple things, and that's what you got to consider as an editor. So
yeah, but can I say something about this real quick? The difference between the Blue Beetle stuff and the Flash movie is that, to my current knowledge, none of those actors for Blue Beetle has committed actual crimes. While Ezra Miller did.
Yes.
So I think one's a bit more reasonable to skip out on than the other.
I'll also add this other point. We gotta keep this in mind. Flash was a more recognized property, right? Blue Beetle is not that widely known of a character or a mantle,
especially to the mainstream audience.
Exactly. So for everybody, for the audience in general, for the public in general, this is going to be their first experience seeing Blue Beetle being done on screen. You know, so you're on DC. You're on thin ice as it is. Like the last couple of DC films you guys had, they're bomb. I mean, we had Shazam, Flash, Black Adam, all three of which didn't end up making money at all. I mean, one of them even bombed. Blue Beetle itself, at best, as much as I'm excited for this film, I think it will be like a stretch to say that this is going to break 500 million.
I agree.
Yeah.
No, just to piss off those
but I think that's
toxic dude bros who like to make hate channels, I will be seeing this movie.
But that's also I think the reason why the Batman joke they felt it was necessary. I think because I know you were excited for that trailer if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I was excited. Like the whole trailer was exciting. It got my adrenaline pumping. But then that last line, that's all it took for a sourness to happen, you know?
I think for me, and I can't speak, it seems like most people like it, but I think for me, I watched that trailer, and me personally, I'm only going to speak for me, I thought it was just kind of I thought it was okay. And I think it just looked like it just kind of looked like another teenage superhero story. And don't get me wrong, I like those. I love those when they're done right. It just looked like any other one I've seen. And I think maybe I'm the type of audience member they were afraid of when they made it, and maybe that's why they relied on that. You know, and that wound up biting in the butt. It seems. You know. So
I mean, they're literally saying, "Hey, for everybody who's upset about that joke, give us a chance." You know.
Yeah, and to be fair, that in my opinion, that's the correct thing to do. Like I said, it's from a character who doesn't know Batman personally. It doesn't actually matter. But also,
in all honesty, when I heard George Lopez was going to be in this movie, I was expecting him to kind of be the fun uncle of the group, but I never expected him to like be a conspiracy theorist or use fascist terms and that stuff.
Hey, like, wow, so he beat your expectations.
There you go.
I guess.
At the end of the day, if you were into this movie and the only thing keeping you away is that line, my recommendation is just go watch the movie. It's
probably just gonna be a throwaway line, really.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be like a little 10-second conversation. They're probably gonna move on. I'm willing to bet. I could be wrong.
You never know.
But yeah, but to Cryptid's point, you if you're trying to promote your movie, you also have to keep in mind that the internet is highly reactionary. So,
yeah, I think we all know that.
Be careful what reactions you want. So there you go.
I mean, how many people hated She-Hulk? Like you hear all that talk.
Yeah, you absolutely refuse to see it because of one fucking conversation.
No, particularly about Abomination, because I knew what they were going to do with that character. And I'm like, yeah, I'm.
Hey, he's going to be in Thunderbolts, so.
Is he?
Okay, that's got to be a conversation for another day. All right, we got to stick to topics.
Yeah, we got to move on. We got to move on.
Okay,
but
all right.
Yeah, let us know. Are you watching Blue Beetle? If not, let us know why. If so, let us know why.
And tell us, do you believe Batman's a fascist?
And
leave a comment down.
Also, leave a definition for fascist before the comment.
Google search it.
No, don't Google search it. Give us your definition of fascist. Right here, right.
And I'm reading Authority comics, so obviously Midnighter is better than Batman. Fight me, I will win.
Okay, all right. Speaking of comics, let's move on to comic news. Which you do the honors.
Hey, it's me. Apparently MJ is finally debuting with the Jackpot Mantle. I guess I don't know.
We get her the first glimpse of her costume.
Send pics where it didn't happen. And also, am I the only one getting so much Spider-Man fatigue recently?
It's in general, which
MJ is still a part of the freaking universe of Spider-Man.
But Jake, I mean, which at least be thankful MJ is not being another Spider person. You know,
I can at least be like that, but also send pictures of her outfit.
When you say Spider fatigue, are you talking about in the comics or in general?
Because there's an alternate universe where MJ does become the Spider person.
No. I'm saying when you're saying you're getting Spider-Man fatigue, are you talking about the comics or in general?
Currently, mostly with comics, but mostly in general right now.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much Spider-Man that we're talking about every week, and I'm like...
No, that's Cryptid's fault.
He's the one making these lists. Audience, Cryptid is making the list. Just remember that. So if you see me being petty on Twitter, on the Twitter account, you know why.
Hey, based on you guys post up topics you guys wanted to discuss here, and I put those on the list too. All right.
Bitch, I tried doing that, and you were like, "We gotta postpone it. We gotta do the movies."
Yeah, but now we're moving.
Anyway, send pictures of the Jackpot fit.
All right. I sent it.
I like.
No, maybe
gold parts on the bodysuit. I like it.
I get what they're going with. I don't know the term of it. That white part up in her chest. What do you call that?
I don't know, but it kind of reminds me of I don't know why, but it kind of reminds me of a Playboy bunny fit.
Yes.
I was like a tuxedo thing, but
yeah,
tuxedo
thing.
Counts?
Yeah.
It still counts.
I can understand that, given the whole Las Vegas jackpot theme they're going with, but I'm not thinking this costume, to be honest.
What's taking me back from it is the gold blocks or the gold rectangles on the pants and those glasses. Don't get me wrong, I don't mind a good sunglasses, but still.
Yes. Maybe. Yeah, I think she would be better off without the sunglasses here.
Like, if you just take off the sunglasses, I'll live with it, you
I
know?
think she'd be better off not a superhero, but that's just me.
She has powers, man. Come on.
Does not
But
have
I
to.
kind of miss when we had like a group of non-superhero, non-superpowered love interests.
I don't know why it's so hard for them to make MJ relevant. She was the most relevant when she was with Peter. She even had her own book where Peter wasn't in it, where she was an actress.
True.
Wow.
Currently, the only two like non-superpowered love interests that I can remember, like non-superpowered, non-superhero love interests, are Candy Southern and Kyle Janadu. That's the only two. MJ was like the head of that, and now she dipped because she became a superhero. Now they're one less member of the group.
Oh, by the way, keep it by like in this article that announced like her new costume. It also mentions that MJ is still Paul.
What? No, Paul, get the fuck out of here!
Why, MJ?
Paul,
Why?
get the
The
fuck out of
the
here!
kids are gone. Like
Cryptid. I'm just tired of seeing Paul.
Remember, she said she loved Paul because she's everything Peter was. She's just not Spider-Man.
Yeah, but Paul needs to not.
I couldn't imagine being. I listen. I love Paul because he reminds me a lot of you, Peter. But I won't go out.
Kind of weird.
Like, what?
You know what this kind of reminds me of, but not really. And I'm bringing this back to my favorite superhero team right now. This is like how I reacted when I first started reading Alpha Flight with Aurora and Sasquatch. I'm like, Aurora, can you just like not? He's literally the worst person ever. He's literally doing experiments on you without you and your other alter's permission. I feel like that's kind of sus, man. I will get into that another day, but like, still, Paul, get the fuck out of here.
I don't know. I don't think.
I blame you for giving me Spider-Man fatigue.
Now, I'll make some predictions. I don't think this book will sell. I have no interest in this book.
Well, no, this is part of Amazing Spider-Man's lineup. It's going to happen in Amazing Spider-Man 31.
Can I say something real quick? You know what I want to happen? I just want MJ and Felicia to just ditch Paul and Peter and just start dating each other, because honestly, those two have been through so much shit together that they should just get together. And I think it'll be cute. That's my personal take. Audience, what do you think about that? Am I going crazy?
Do you really want to break that news to Peter? He lost MJ. He lost MJ and Felicia to each other.
Dude, he can live. He's already been through so much shit. Why not have another fucking thing, man?
I don't know if he's in love territory with Black Cat. It seems like every time they hang out, it's about MJ. But
for real, like, come on, man. It's like, audience, am I the only one going crazy here because I think this could be a potentially cute ship, or do you guys agree with me on something for once? My mic.
You know dang well the audience is die hard for MJ and Peter, which just
I know. Well, they gotta get over it.
Hey, some people want that fantasy.
As long as, honestly, I was never on the Paul MJ train or the Peter.
Nobody is.
The only reason why I had to be on the Peter MJ train was because everyone else told me I had to be, and I was like, I don't care, but whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like Peter and MJ together when they're written correctly.
Thank you. But also, Cryptid, I blame you for my Spider-Man fatigue.
All right. Blame me for everything, all right?
I'm just blaming you for this, man. And a couple other things. Mostly this.
But don't worry, I got you. I'll blame you for everything.
All right.
Yeah, I'm blaming you for this almost 100-degree weather right now.
Yes.
All right. Well, let's move on to the next topic, guys. Now we're going into the comic reviews. Which starts off?
Yay, we're going back to Boom Studios because Marvel and DC get enough love as it is. Cryptid. Mm-hmm. So we're going to be talking about Fence Redemption number 2.
Mm-hmm.
Give the quick synopsis of the issue because I really don't.
You read this more thoroughly than I did, and you're clearly more of a fan of this comic than I am, which so you take the lead.
Look at him dump the load on you. That's crazy.
You're lucky that the next issue of Briar hasn't come out yet. Anyways, so going off from the last issue, the kids from Exton, which is a rival school, which also has a fencing program, hence the name Fence, they pull up to Kings Row, which is the school that our main character is a part of, you know. So that's cool. There is some antics that ensue, you know. And Nicholas is just being Nicholas, you know. That's the main character, by the way. And also, we find out that Seiji knows French. And there's this one panel where he's speaking French with another person from the other school. And you could just see roses and cherry blossoms around them. I'm like, hey, I'm not watching a shoujo anime. I'm reading a comic about fencing. But you know what? I watched Yuri on Ice. I have some thoughts on Yuri on Ice. Anything can happen. If we can get gay ice skating, we can get gay fencing, okay? And also Bobby in this, I just love her so much. She's just fangirling, and I just love that.
She has like that chibi moment at the end, you know?
Yeah. Also, there might be some tension between Seiji and another boy from the other school, you know, who happens to be blonde. I'm like, Seiji, come on. Really? A blonde guy? I thought we moved past that. Come on.
Yeah, you gotta have a Romeo and Juliet vibe going on.
This isn't Romeo and Juliet. What the fuck do you mean? This is not Romeo and Juliet. And also, I don't know the name of this motherfucker is, but there's this smug-looking motherfucker with 5 freckles on his nose. Just 5. And it's in the shape of like a cross type thing. But I don't like his vibe. But
his freckles are okay, right?
Yeah, freckles are fine. But I don't like him. His vibes are off. But we got some tension between some of the people of Kings Row, you know? And yeah, no, I'm like, know your fucking place, bitch. Know your place, bitch. Why am I forgetting all of their goddamn names? The pretty boy blonde one from Kings Row. You know who I'm talking about. Cryptid.
Yeah. You wanna talk about his line? Come on, Witch. You know you wanna do it.
Wait, there's like a million lines. Hold on.
Okay. The line that makes the other guy blush. Come on, you know the page I was talking about?
Fuck, hold on. Do I have to go back up again?
Either you reenact that line, or I'm going to have to reenact that line.
Is it the one between Jesse and Seiji, or is it the other blonde guy?
The other blonde guy at the end with the black-haired guy.
Yeah, listen. You don't want...
You know, the fence me line.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about, but I'm not there yet. I just got to the part where Seiji stormed off because this other motherfucker brings up the fact that Jesse was the only bitch that could beat him. Give me a moment.
No.
I have to go through.
Love doesn't take a moment.
Shut up. Anyways, we see Harvard having to calm our homie down, you know, which there is also some gay tension between those two. And I'm just like, you guys are childhood friends, kind of. You guys need to kiss right here, right now. And also the coaches, you know who I'm talking about. Just go on a date or something. I don't fucking know what they want from me, man. And so we get some more antics between the two schools, you know. Nicholas is getting some weird vibes, you know. He's like, oh, this is not going as well as I thought. And so he goes up to Harvard, and they're having a little chat, you know. And then Harvard is like, yo, you got to do this and this, you know, if you want to get better. And Nicholas is like, yeah, I got it. And he's like, Flix, I learned that. And he was like, and then there's like a little box that says Flix landed 1. And I feel so bad for Harvard. He's like, we're going to fucking lose. We're going to fucking lose. But don't worry. We got our lovely coach and Bobby being awesome. You know? It's all good. Hold on.
When there's love in the air, does anybody really lose?
Yes. The haters. Anyways, Nicholas seemed like he's gonna fence this guy named Raul. I think that's how you pronounce his name. I don't know. It's spelled weird. But then this one chick is like, "Yo, lunch break, bitches. Let's go. Woo." As you do. And so then Harvard is talking with the coach. She's like, we gotta win. We gotta beat these guys. And Harvard's like, I know. We're trying to help the team, dude. I can't just say no to these guys, But it's a whole thing. There's this really funny panel that I screenshotted, which I'm going to send to you guys for later. Mm-hmm. Hold on, where is it? Right here. There it is. Oh yeah, so adorable. I was like, I had to screenshot it. Anyways, we're gonna cut back to Nicholas and Seiji and Jesse. So Seiji and Jesse, they go into a separate room to chit chat it up, And I think Jesse was trying to rekindle a relationship with Seiji, but we know damn well Seiji's not having it.
Mm-hmm.
He's like Jesse's like, I wish you at least tell me why you left. And Seiji's like, I know why you goddamn left. I fucking left, And Jesse was like, is it because I won? Because I always win. And I'm like, God damn it, bitch. You are so goddamn tone deaf, bitch. And then finally gets that goddamn line. So let me get to the audience because Cryptid wants to be a butt. So Seiji's about to leave and Jesse grabs his hand and he's like, wait. And he says, fence me. And then Seiji just kind of blushes, but not in oh my god, this is adorable kind of blush. This is a desperate let go of me type of blush, if you guys catch what I mean by this. And so then Jesse tries to woo Seiji again and he's like, no, and then Nicholas, our best boy, he's like, hey, Seiji has a date with me. And Jesse's like, but who are you? And he's like, and Seiji's like, I'm a friend. And Jesse was like, what the hell? And so then
can I read Jesse's line?
Nicholas grabs Seiji's hand and they just leave. And Seiji's like, a date? And Nicholas was like, an appointment. You know what I mean by that. And then Seiji's like, an appointment to eat sundaes with you in your hometown. And Seiji's like, I'm not Seiji. Nicholas like, if you want it. Seiji's like, aren't you gonna ask me about Jesse? And Nicholas was like, no, I get it. He's your rival. I don't need to really know much more about that. And Seiji's like, yeah, I'll go get sundaes with you. And that's where it ends. With some gay shit.
Aww.
Because if anyone knows me, I'm always down for gay shit, but it needs to be very specific kind of gay shit. Because if it's just whatever, I'm just gonna be like,
Hey, Wedge, can I reenact the lines Jesse was saying to that guy?
If you want.
Fence me.
Jesus Christ.
I know that if you fence me, you'll remember how we were together. I know you'll leave King's Row with me. You know it too. Come on, fence me. Oh, God.
I'm like, Jesse's giving me weird vibes. You know how I was saying that other guy with the 5 freckles was giving me weird vibes? Jesse's also giving me weird vibes, but in a different way. I think you know what I mean? Yeah. This is pure manipulation. In the purest of forms. And I feel like anyone who's read this can probably agree with me. But yeah. Honestly, I don't know if it's just that guy or it's the heat exhaustion getting to me, but that guy's giving me some weird ass vibes, and I am ready for the Seiji Nicholas Sunday date. Probably on a Sunday. Honestly, who knows what day their date is going to be on? Because me and Cryptid were having this conversation earlier.
Mm-hmm.
About the Sunday date on Sunday.
There you go. Well, I guess that's it for Fence for tonight. Let's move on to something fantastic.
I was gonna introduce it. The Jake versus Reed saga continues in Fantastic Four #9.
Well, quote unquote continues because this issue has nothing to do with Reed, Jake.
Victory is assured.
It
has
while you guys are rambling.
it has everything to do with Alicia. Ben's wife.
That's what
She's really the MVP of this comic, actually.
She's the new head of the non-superpowered superhero love interest.
Yeah, pretty much. So picking up from what happened last issue, right? You have this one wood golem creature that is mind wiping everybody in town to being her slave, which includes Reed and Thing. So that just leaves Invisible Woman and Alicia and Johnny Storm to kind of save the day, right? And oh yeah, also Flameball because Human Torch got mind wiped too, so he thinks the Fantastic Four is just made up of him, Sue, a fire clone of himself, and Alicia. So
why not?
Yeah. In Johnny's own words, being blind never stopped Alicia from doing anything before. So yay. Okay, so we get some inner monologue from Alicia, and this is really a hard time for her because she knows who Ben is on the inside, and it horrifies her to see quote unquote see the monster side of him being unleashed on her because the monster is mind wipe Ben into thinking Alicia is his greatest foe now. And I'm like, oh god dang it.
That's Don't we get to? I have a quick question. Isn't this the issue where we get to see how Alicia views the world?
Yes, funny you should mention that. So Alicia does come up with a plan. She has Sue construct a little small light ball, right? That's flexible for Alicia to mold right on the spot. And when she was finished for sculpture, she had Sue copy that to a ginormous size, which was basically a kraken. And I kind of liked how this was Sue and Johnny listening to Alicia, and we got to see her point of view. Like a full page spread of Alicia. It's all blank panels, because that's how she views the world, but she's listening to the words around her. She knows where everybody is. She could feel where a person is based on the water drops from the rain and that stuff. And they were able to buy her time to sculpt up like a kraken like thing, which Sue ended up copying to make like a kraken like construct to subdue Thing and Reed. So that was nice, but unfortunately, Human Torch ends up getting mind controlled by the Golem Girl, and he goes after Sue. Of course, she encases herself and Alicia in a globe, right? Unfortunately, all that fire that's being shot at her, it's burning up the oxygen inside the globe. So Sue has no choice. She manages to get Alicia out of the way, but unfortunately, Sue gets a blast of the flames.
bad.
Oh man, you see a shot of her, she's landing on the ground. She lost all her hair. You see the muscles in her leg. Her skin's all crisped up. Her clothes are all tattered. You're like, oh my god, dude, this just got really serious at this moment, But Sue is still alive, but barely, just enough for the Golem Woman to sink her powers into try to control Sue, because apparently Sue's invisible force field out the mind control powers from her, right? So
Right.
now that she's defenseless, she proceeds to go and mind wipe her mind, and that's when you find out Susan gave her a got ya moment. It was all a trick. She the way she was able to bend her light powers, she made her hair invisible, but also make something about the light was able to darken her skin as well, and she was able to pinpoint spots in her flesh to so you could see her muscle tissue. Basically, she was mimicking like third-degree burns with her light powers.
That's cool.
That's pretty
And
cool.
I was like, yeah, kudos. So anyway, Susan uses the opportunity to, kind of bounce back that mind warping power onto the golem. And now she is defeated. Everybody eventually gets their memories back. And, you have a sweet, tender moment with Thing, and Alicia to get her on the sofa as Thing is just reading for Alicia, some quality time that, Alicia desperately misses. And, yeah, that's how the issue ends, really. A nice, simple, sweet one. Jake, not every issue has to bust your brain, all right?
Oh, listen.
Yeah, dude.
Listen, this is why I got rid of Reed in the last issue. Okay?
It's probably coming back in the next issue.
Wow! You see Reed as a problematic white male of this series, Jake. Wow!
Yeah. I will cancel him. Don't get it twisted.
Oh, don't let my homie Franklin's Herald hear you, man. He'll come after you. She's like a number one freaking Fantastic Four stan.
Yeah.
Just to be clear with the audience, I don't hate Reed Richards. I just think that his methods lately have been quite extreme. But
is it like Beast extreme, or is it a little less than that?
They produce results, Jake. All right.
I have to help this guarding.
You're gonna die on?
I have to help this guarding girl. Let me build a giant magnifying glass that covers the planet so I can heat up, use the rays of the sun to heat up the grass.
That is kind of stupid.
And it saves the planet, all right?
No, yeah. Anyway, let us know who's your favorite Fantastic Four member and why.
And why is it Alicia and Ben?
Yeah. And also I want to also add this. Man, these past two issues, they've really shown me how seriously OP Johnny and Susan are, their powers, honestly. Because, now Human Torch could literally make fire clones of himself. Invisible Woman could literally now make constructs. Heck, they combined their powers to make a working motor, apparently, at the end of this issue. So, wow. I thought Thing was supposed to be the most dangerous member of this group, but apparently not.
Oh, look, he's our muscle, but he's not the strong.
Gotcha. Well, has he blocked out the sun before, Jake?
You know who has though?
Okay.
Mama.
Hey, there we go.
Gotcha.
Listen, I just like a more simpler read, That's all I want.
All right. Well, we spoke enough about the Fantastic Four, so let's move on. This was supposed to be Austin's pick, but he's not here, so we'll skip that.
Yeah, suck it, Austin.
We'll go from fantastic to amazing.
Oh my god.
Well, it's Spider-Man without the
enough of that. Enough of that. Austin's here.
Never with that Tom Holland fucking profile pic.
Austin, you saved us from having to go talk about Spider-Man. Are you happy about
it? Let him talk about Daredevil. Let him talk about Daredevil.
Audience.
There you go.
Claps in the chat. Claps in the chat.
Okay, talk about Daredevil. Awesome.
My bad. My job decided to keep me because of my birthday tomorrow. So they made me do all my work today.
Well, first of all, introduce yourself to the audience while you're here.
They didn't know me, Rich. My name is Austin.
Well, what about new viewers? They don't know you.
I don't care about the new ones.
Anyways, this is Austin, Ace Comics. He's a nerd.
But we care about the new viewers. Don't forget to subscribe and ring that bell.
Yeah, anyways, Austin, talk about Daredevil, so I don't have to hear Cryptid talk about Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Talk about Spider-Man. I just got in the house. Let me get my notes together, man.
Wow.
Okay, so
no, Spider-Man. Can we talk about Daredevil?
we're talking about Spider-Man.
No.
And guess what? Guess who finally appears to help save the day?
Not Paul.
Spider-
Okay, it's not Paul. But
Which
anyway,
Which
yeah.
Spider-Man is this? Which Spider-Man is this? The Spider-Boy one?
Spider-Man
Or
number 10.
It's
Which one is
So
this?
this
Spider-Man by,
Is
Spider-Man by
Miles?
Dan Slott. By Dan
Oh.
Slott.
yeah.
Okay, so as this issue is titled, it's called Shocking Behavior. Because to get the audience up to speed, let's not forget Peter overtaxed his spider sense, so now he's hearing everybody's immediate danger, including the bad guys now. Yep. And from where the last issue left off, this is unfortunate since now he has to fight off against Electro. And this is even more frustrating for Peter because now, in the midst of their fight, his spider sense is just going way off the walls because now he's hearing all the pedestrians being in danger. I'm sorry, not hearing, but his spider sense is just kicking off overdrive. And Electro's like, what's happening to you, man? This isn't how you fight. Come on, you think we're staging this shit, this crap? I don't want that to be my reputation. Fight me like a man. Oh, I'll do you one better. I'll fight you like a boy. Spider boy. Yep.
I want to unalive myself because of you. Sometimes
I'm gonna slowly turn and look at him like, ooh.
Let's try it. Spider Boy tagging in. Bam. He comes and saves the day.
Who wanted?
right now. I would Jason out this kid if I had to lose to him in public.
Wow. A boy comes in and saves Spider-Man and you want Jason Todd in me.
Listen. It's one thing losing to Spider-Man. I'm not losing to a child. Okay?
For real.
For
real.
To be fair, because of the retcon, a lot of people already losing to a child.
I don't remember it.
Amazingly enough, Spider-Boy actually brings this up. Come on, Spider-Man, we've taken him down dozens of times. I can't believe you actually did it. You went and altered your powers yet again. You tried the same thing when you tried to copy my Spider Sense powers.
Just hear you describe that annoys the shit out of me.
Yeah, how do you think I feel right now, Jake? How do you think I fucking feel right now? I could have been looking at Barbenheimer tweets, but no, I have to hear to talk about Spider Boy.
Okay, well, let me continue.
Is, who wanted this?
Clearly people did, because that Edge of Spider-Verse number 3, the one we talked about last week, that issue sold out in my comic book shop. I'm like, wow.
Just because it sells out in yours doesn't mean it sells out in everyone else.
Edge of Spider number 3 is the debut issue?
No, it's not the debut issue.
People are going to buy Spider-Man comics.
For which my comic store still has issues 1 and 2 still there in bulk.
Yeah.
Well, wait, hang on. These are the debuting issues of Spider-Man.
No, that wasn't the debut. That was like the debuting story.
It's not the debuting issue, but it's like his first story. It's like this is his first arc that he's in, correct? This
is a story that was a story exclusively about Spider-Boy.
Yeah, so I would probably want to get that as a collector because it's his first couple of adventures. That I think that's a fair thing to say.
Okay, let's continue on. So anyway,
power pack, and we can just move on with our lives.
We'll see. Anyway, so here's the way this fight's going to turn out, because Peter is just incapable of fighting right now because of how taxed his spider sense is. So for the time being, Peter's going to have to go off and save all the civilians from harm and this stuff, while Spider-Boy is going to have to deal with Electro. And this is where Spider-Boy comes up and brings up we tangled with Electro a number of times. But you know what? This actually works better in my favor because I could just use a bunch of old tricks I used in our previous battles against Electro, and they'll all seem new. So,
dude, how bad? I'm assuming that Spider-Boy beats Electro. I'm just assuming that. How do you think Electro's going to feel the fact that he lost to, like, how old is Spider-Boy?
Well, we don't know how old he is. I think he's like
A young
10 years
child.
old, maybe.
I love how all of Peter's like legacies or sidekicks, their first villain is Electro, because that was Miles' first villain in Ultimates.
What about Alpha?
What about what?
We don't talk about Alpha.
Real sidekick.
We don't talk about Alpha.
We shouldn't be talking about Spider-Boy, but here we are.
Okay. So, while the fight is going on between Electro and Spider-Boy, Peter's saving the day, and amazingly enough, he spots a building that's on fire, and this is going back to the first issue of this arc, right, where, Peter tried saving people from this burning building, but he couldn't save everybody. Well, looky here. He saved everybody in the building this time. Okay. So, all right. So Spider-Boy is fighting off against Electro, and that's when Peter comes in, helps out by, the fire department comes in, right? And he uses the hose from there to short out Electro. And this ends up giving Spider-Boy the opportunity to sink one of the powers we've never seen before from him, which is biting Electro on the neck. Oh, wow.
Wait, Spider-Boy can... Wait, Spider-Boy can bite people?
Yes, and
anybody can bite anyone, Jake.
No. He knocks out Electro.
So he's Miguel?
I guess, yeah.
So Miguel,
like Peter, Spider-Man's like, did you just kill him? And Spider-Boy is like, hey, is your spider sense kicking off? Nope, so he's not dead. Now, what I actually just gave him was some paralyzing venom, but it's okay. Well, the day is saved. Want to leave one of our cards for old time's sakes? Courtesy of your friendly neighborhood Spider Team cards.
Get the fuck away from me, kid.
Oh, dude, get the fuck out of here.
You came at such an opportunistic time, Austin. Just to let you know. Okay.
It's so funny that there's just so many spider people. They just can't stop ripping off each other's powers. Like they cannot. It's no. Yes. The most unique person that's what I can't even say it's the cartoon one because Spider-Ham came first. It's more just a Disney princess.
Hey, Cryptid.
Mm-hmm.
No one besides you and Dan Slott wanted a Spider-Boy book, but you know who they should have given a book to?
I didn't want a Spider-Boy book, but hey, I'll support him if I could.
And Dan Slott, you're the only two people who want this. Besides the point, you know what? You know who should have gotten a book, though?
Who?
Webweaver.
Of course you say that.
Hang on.
Rich, you're settling for Superior Spider-Man getting a book, and you'll like it.
No, I won't like it because I won't give a fuck.
Hang on, which Webweaver got to be in a movie. That's more than a lot of people.
Webweaver was not in the movie.
Oh,
no,
that was the other one. That was
the handicap one.
Her name is Sunspider. Get your facts.
Sunspider. Yeah, I remembered Sunspider. There you go.
Okay. But okay, so anyway, going back to the book, so it's at this moment where Gold Goblin comes in, and he finally fixes up the device to fix Peter's spider sense, right? And Peter's like, "No, wait, I could save so many people if I just keep this power." And Norman's like, "No, people, like, are you kidding me, man?"
No, he's still fighting to keep it.
So Norman just goes and shoots him with the ray, and all of a sudden all the noise Peter's been hearing gets he goes back to normal, and Norman's explaining, look, do you know how badly your spider sense must have been kicking off from just one battle of Electro? Imagine what's going to happen when we reach Marvel's next event. Like, oh god. So yeah, eventually Peter had to realize, yes, this was for the best. And
Huh? That's crazy.
He had to realize it again.
Yeah. And that's at this point where, Spider-Boy ends up leaving. But, no, he's not leaving. Spider-Man goes and corners him. And it's...
He just punches him across the face. Just across the
Yep. Let me read his line. Let's see. Okay, so it's over, Spider-Boy. I don't care what you say or do. There's no world, there never was or ever will be, where I have a kid's sidekick. As far as Spider-Boy's like, but we? No, there is no we. We're done.
Yeah.
Next issue.
Say it with your chest. Say it with your chest.
Next issue.
This is not. That's not anything Spider-Man will say.
I can think of a perfect group of superheroes that Spider-Boy can hang out with, and they all have one thing in common. They're all children.
They're older now. The Power Pack's older now.
Well, yeah. What about Moon Girl? She's still a child.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, they can do that.
Yeah, but she's like way younger.
Well, like make the tech.
Spider-Boy looks like he's 10. Okay.
If yeah, I think this kid is 13. The oldest two Power Pack, I think, are 18 now. I think the younger two are supposed to be. The four kids are all 15, and Moon Girl's like 11.
No, but I think Witch is onto something. I think Moon Girl could be his tech guy, and they can have some friendship out there.
Yeah, see, they can hang out with Double Dinosaur, man.
I never said this Moon Girl.
Bitch, who doesn't want to hang out with the dinosaur? I want to hang out with the dinosaur.
Nah, Moon Girl will be saying, "You're way cooler than the other Spider-Man. He stole my stuff."
Yeah.
See, Lunala and freaking Bailey, I think the same is. They can hang out. They can be friends.
There goes Peter off to save MJ and ruining people's lives.
And being weird with a teenage girl's mask.
Okay, but anyway, it looks like next issue we're going to get a Spider-Man versus Spider-Boy issue as Peter cracks out the web belt.
Whoa, wait, hang on.
Whoa.
I was okay with him telling the kid off.
Child abuse.
I was okay with him telling the kid off because he doesn't feel comfortable having a small child in his line of work, but I was talking about beating up a child.
Oh my God! This is coming from a guy who 5 minutes ago says, "I want to Jason Todd this kid."
Oh yeah,
wow, Jay!
Hang on, let me play. If I was Electro and lost to a child, I would absolutely Jason Todd him. If I was Electro, but if I'm Spider-Man, I'm not beating up a child. Oh my God, no.
Yeah, the Spider-Man crushing the kid's dreams and stuff. Is really bad after all the stuff that Peter himself been through. I feel like Peter at best would have took him to a psych and just let's read his mind. Because either he's lying or he's trolling right now.
No.
We'll see in the next issue, but you'll definitely be tuning into that.
Can you figure out this kid's like a clone or something? I didn't know. You need to help me out
here. We'll definitely be here to tune in for the next issue as I discuss it. So count on that.
You'll be lucky if I have the mental capacity to deal with that next issue, audience.
Well, Austin, are you ready? Back.
Sure. I got pictures from 13 and I got some from 12, so I'm probably gonna have to explain stuff. But all right, Daredevil number 12 and 13. Well, mainly it's 13. For people who don't know, Daredevil had to take over the Fist with after he married Elektra, and they prophesied that one of them would have to die. In issue 12, they finally beat Frank Castle, I guess that's what it's. If you go back to an earlier episode, you already know about how Marvel fumbled that whole story. So let's not get back into that. But Daredevil finally Daredevil 1, him and Elektra fight in issue 12. Daredevil allows himself to lose.
No.
And he dies and he wakes up in hell. But he's welcomed.
Wow.
But he's welcomed by his father.
Aww.
And his dad looking like, "What you doing on the floor? Get up! What's happening?" And he wakes up in a boxing ring and everything. His dad helps him up. He gives him his mask and says, "Let's go save Foggy. You got to use something supposed to be down here."
How can you send a blind person to hell? Seriously.
It's
To
Matt
be
Murdock.
fair,
What
it looks like he could. Well, let me see. The way the art is drawn, let me show you. They put a little bit of light in his eyes, but I think he's still blind, or he just puts on this the mask for no reason.
Yeah.
Well, look at this. I posted it in general.
Let's see. Okay, I see.
If you look at the first thing, you see he got the light in his eyes, but he does still look blind.
Okay.
To be fair, like the first thing he says is "Dad," and he's like, "Come on, a Murdoch doesn't stay down. You got to fight ahead of you." Daredevil's like, I don't really want to fight anymore."
And Matt's dad is like, "Suck it up, bitch. Get up." Am I right?
Basically, he like, because you don't want you started fighting, you can't stop. You're too much like me. He hands him his mask.
I fucking knew it.
Aww.
But Daredevil is down here to save Foggy. Foggy got taken by the hand. Basically, anybody killed by the hand kind of got sent here, whether they deserved it or not.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that
They're in a
sucks.
cage here because this is where the beast is. So once you die or you get tribute to the beast, you come here, basically. But they walk down the stairs. Daredevil, being a man of God, gets empowered by God, and his outfit turns white.
What? A white devil?
I don't know, because you guys we haven't kept up this weekly. I know it seems like a out of the blue thing, but God and all that's been a huge part here. Jake, I think it was right before we started recording, where I talked about the issue where there was literally an angel just following Matt, messing with him. And it was like, I can ruin your life or save your life by doing something a week ago.
I remember. Yeah, I remember that.
How come Marvel has like 12 different versions of hell, but we never got one version of heaven?
Because we don't.
I think we do have
we
one.
have
They have the other than Thor.
What do you mean we have a version?
Valhalla. Oh, well, okay, if you want to count that.
We're counting that. It's literally called heaven.
To be fair, it kind of sucks.
Oh shit, but still. So does hell.
Also, I think it's still missing right now. I haven't kept up with Thor.
Me neither.
Oh my god. I just want to imagine being a citizen in Marvel 616 and realizing, wow, there are so many different versions of hell, but I barely know if even one heaven exists out there. Like, wow.
I don't know. I bet Kurt Wagner and Matt Murdock are having fucking crisis right now. I'm so like, bitch, how are you guys Catholic?
To be fair, Daredevil has a crisis every week, but usually he talks to someone, they help him out with it.
Yeah, it's that Catholic guilt.
I think the last person he talked to was
just horny. Nightcrawler's just horny. That's how he his
Nightcrawler's weird right now. I don't want to talk about that guy.
Okay. Let's go back to Daredevil. So we get the first appearance of a white devil, you say?
I don't know what to call him that.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to call him that either.
Okay.
That sounds like I'm about to get hate crimed.
But the whole time he's going through hell, his daddy just talked to him. He like, be careful. This place keeps changing and shifting. He's like, are you gonna be okay? They're like, yeah, I'm gonna be okay. Because I have to be okay. Not because I actually feel okay. And the dad just kind of gives him a look like, don't say it like that again. Daredevil starts fighting some demons. He obviously wins. His senses are a little bit better. In fact, he said that his radar sense can reach everywhere in this world.
Okay.
So unlike Peter, his senses being improved doesn't almost kill him every time. So
I wanted to bring that up too.
I think his senses work differently. His senses don't react to danger and hurt his head like the spider sense does.
They're basically an echolocation.
Yeah.
I'm trying to post this picture of Daredevil fighting a whole lot of demons, but it doesn't seem like it's going through. So we'll worry about that later.
Hey, audience, what's your favorite season of Daredevil? Say it in the comments.
Yeah, Jake, what's your favorite season of Daredevil? You think about that while I read.
It was season 2. I really liked the arc where Daredevil fought Punisher.
I didn't watch
I
it.
hate you.
I was too busy watching Runaways and Cloak and Dagger to watch Daredevil.
Yeah.
Thank you. Someone watch those shows. We can talk about
Hey,
that
those shows were great. Canceled too soon.
Okay.
All right.
Daredevil finds Foggy in a cage. Foggy's like, I knew you'll come. You always do. He like, duh. And then, Cryptid. This is my first time I've seen a beast in a while, so I forgot what he looked like. The beast comes in here. It's just like a huge obese man. I thought this was Kingpin.
Ooh.
Look at that, bro. Look how big this guy is. Tell me about Kingpin.
I need to see if. Oh, what the hell, man!
It's not a beast. It's just a giant fat demon.
Are those nipple piercings on this guy? Wow.
Yeah. You know what's messed up? I looked up his old design. This is consistent.
Wow.
He's an old fat goth.
Good for him.
But the beast come in. He's like, if it isn't the one who banished me back to hell. He starts trying to fight. Well, he does something to battling Jack Murdoch. He starts freaking out. His eyes go white. Oh, yeah. And then he morphs. Because this wasn't actually his dad. It was another demon channeling his dad. To reward Daredevil for his service. And you find out this demon is a female named the Wild. And it's the Beast's sister.
Oh, wow.
And the big reveal is that the Fist, the organization that Stick, Elektra, and all of them have worked for years, has actually been serving this demon. You trade one devil for another.
Wow.
And if we talked about every issue, the setup was actually there for you to call this, and it's very rewarding. But since we couldn't do every issue, I know it just seems out of the blue, but it's set up.
Wait, how many
has a mental breakdown as which we just talked about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
This would be in Catholic Dusty.
Mm-hmm.
But the hand serves the beast, the fist serves the sister, the Wild. You see Stick in the cage, talking about, I'm sorry. The Wild and the beast starts fighting. Foggy had to give Daredevil his pep talk. He like, it's gonna be okay. Me, you, or Nelson and Murdoch, you said it before, time and time again. We're gonna figure something out. Daredevil grabs the cage and with all the powers of God, rips the door off. You would have thought Cryptid. The way he starts beating this cage, like this man is using like full on depressed strength.
Oh man.
Let me see if I can these photos actually finally do something. All right. This photo is the Wild. And the next photo is gonna be the cage.
Yeah.
Yeah, what? Nasty.
This is body horror stuff. It's like Daredevil went into the Spawn universe or something.
That's what it looks like when the dad turns into her. It's disgusting.
Oh my god. I just saw this. I look away for like 2 seconds and you post this shit. Oh my god, what the fuck is this?
Daredevil rips the door off the cages. He gets Foggy, tells him to go. Daredevil stays behind to try to fight the Beast and this Wild, I guess. I would still change her name to Wild. It's not roll off the tongue for me.
I don't know, but Matt has lightsabers now, audience. He has lightsabers.
Yeah, he tells Foggy to take him home. He starts thinking about his life, his faith, and all this. How he now fights for love. His love for Elektra, his love for life, his love for Foggy.
Kind of gay.
And he puts his hands at his head.
And he pulls out the lightsabers.
and his sticks turns to lightsabers by the power of God.
Oh.
He even put the sticks to connect to his horns and pulled a lightsaber out of his horns.
Well, at least Chip Zdarsky made the horns practical, I guess.
He's talking about, I feel his light. The inside, that love dissolving all the shadow within me. Nothing escapes that light. That I fight for love with his love. Go, Foggy. Tell her how my heart scared with her. Tell her it was a good life. And obviously talking about God's light and God's love.
Yeah.
But Daredevil has no intention of leaving hell. He's planning to stay here and fight them for as long as he can, even if that takes forever.
Then he becomes the Doom Slayer.
Austin, this is the final issue?
Is it?
Austin, is it? You can't leave us on this cliffhanger, man.
Oh my god, I think he just did. He left us.
Well, it's not my fault he has the Tom Holland profile pic.
What he did was he went down to hell to go fight with battling Matt Murdock.
Well, I just think it was the Thanos snap, but that's just me.
But I mean, I just gotta say, how the whole tradition is every Daredevil writer has to leave Daredevil in a horrible spot by the end of their run. Yeah. Hey, I mean, leaving Matt Murdock
for a second.
Oh, okay, Austin's back. All right,
but
so is this the issue?
He literally just fighting the wild in hell. The wild's getting mad. Like, you turn on me, we could have accomplished so much together. The Beast shows up too. He's like, he's an idiot. He called Daredevil an idiot. He's like, he's a simpleton. You can't reason with people like this. And Daredevil literally just goes out fighting. He gets his arm cut off.
Oh, God.
Fun.
I got that photo too, but I'll post it in a second. But he gets his arm cut off. He slices the Beast's throat with his sword of God's light. He throws one lightsaber through the Beast. This is better than a lot of Jedi combat. I ain't gonna lie to you. Foggy almost dies. He helps Foggy up. He pushes Foggy through the portal. The portal's in a circle of God's light. Foggy reaches back for him. Devil tries to make it a Foggy, but a portal closes before he gets there. And Foggy and all these people are walking, and they're like, "Where is he?" And he starts crying. And that's how the issue ends. Daredevil is trapped in hell, fighting the Beast and the Wild for, I guess, till the next run.
So this is the last issue of Chip Zdarsky's run, right?
I believe so.
Oh, okay. So leaving Matt Murdock to fight an endless battle in hell. That's how he's leaving his run off.
Damn, you can't just leave me on that.
I'm actually very surprised because I guess this is worse than him fake dying.
Yeah. No one gets that.
I think you said earlier, they don't have a tradition of leaving the character worse off than he was in the run before. I think he's the only character with that tradition as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad they're trying to keep it up at the very least.
I mean, god dang, he gets his arm cut off and he has to fight in hell. Okay, whoever the next writer is. Wait, did they announce who the next writer is?
I'm pretty sure they did, but it was like right before this.
Yeah,
I can look it up real quick. Saladin Ahmed.
Salman Ahmed. Oh, okay, yeah. Okay. The guy does a lot of good buddy cop team ups, so all right.
Well, good luck to him because he's gonna need it. I bought half this run. I have to run up to Devil's Reign. I'm gonna have to buy this whole volumes too. This is probably my favorite Daredevil run out of all 9 that I've read.
Hey, it's Chip Zdarsky, man. Yeah, he keeps up the quality.
I just want to see what the next writer's going to do with the changes and stuff to Daredevil's mythos. It's kind of funny, though, that both Daredevil and the Punisher had to quote-unquote retire after this, though, in a way.
You think they're going to meet? Are they going to meet up again at some point when they come back? No? Okay. Well,
just meet up. I guess it's possible.
Yeah. But all right.
Right. Let's move on to the next topic, guys. Let's move on to peace.
God
do you really want to taste it?
We're not doing the whole theme. It's too long.
Please don't. I don't have the brain capacity to hear the whole theme song now.
Okay. Wink, wink. Yeah, you mentioned the brain capacity. Why? Because the brain is the villain of this comic, which? Okay.
I didn't fucking know that.
How does Witch know that, though?
I didn't know that. It's like... It's literally like 95 degrees where I am right now, and it's like not even 9 p.m. right now. So
gotcha.
The heat is getting to my brain.
Okay, but anyway, to catch the audience up to speed, in the last issue, Peacemaker gets black belt by the Brain and his ape partner. Emphasis on partner, because Witch mentioned to me that there's a little bit more into that relationship than I thought was possible.
Google it.
Yep. So anyway, the Brain kidnaps Peacemaker's dog, Bruce Wayne. Yeah, dog that.
He's gonna pull a John Walker. He's gonna pull a John Walker. Run.
Okay, so he pulled. Peacemaker found and adopted a dog named Bruce Wayne, and he got kidnapped by the Brain.
I'm sorry, I meant to say John Wick. I think you guys understood what I was trying to say. He's into my brain. Anyways, continue.
So anyway, what the Brain has planned is that he needs to clone himself a body, a perfect body, right? And at first, Peacemaker was like a little flattered, saying, "Oh, okay, so you want a body as ripped and as sculpted as mine, right?" And the Brain is like, "No, I want my brain to be in a body that doesn't prove a risk to my mental capacity. No, I want I want to be in the body of Deathstroke."
But he grooms children.
I know.
I don't think Peacemaker
that'll make his body a little less efficient.
He still grooms children.
So you originally assumed that this is going to be like a showdown between Peacemaker and Deathstroke, right? But the Brain and his monkey are like, yeah, you really think we could trust you to go after Deathstroke by yourself alone? Come on, there's some DNA samples of him in this one government place in the desert. You're going after that, and my gorilla companion's going to be tagging along with you. All right, so for this whole issue, it's pretty much Peacemaker and that gorilla, tagging along with each other in the car and everything, listening to rock and roll.
We only have to stand.
Yep. But before they go off to retrieve the Deathstroke sample, Peacemaker has to stop by his trailer, of course, to pick up a helmet. And that's when you have like these kids, like, okay, imagine 3 kids in the South in a trailer park, right? Like, they come up, "Hey, Peacemaker, what you been doing?" And Peacemaker's like, you raw little kids, where are your parents? And one of the kids like saying, "Fucking with your mom." Ooh, ha 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 ha. And then Peacemaker. And then Peacemaker's like, haha, joke's on you. My mom is dead. So he basically admitted that your dad fucks dead people. Loser! I guess that's one way of looking at it. All right, so they go into trailer, and this is where Peacemaker has to come up with a tough choice. Which helmet to take with him? You have the X-ray vision one, you have the shrinkage one, the human rocket, sonar, oil slick, fuck beam, Bane voice, underwater world. Which would you guys take?
We go to underwater world, yeah.
Yeah, underwater adventure.
So that would be your pick too, Which?
What was the other option again? I was on that.
Okay.
I don't want to
X-ray, fuck beam, sonar, human rocket, Shrinkage, Oil Slick, and Bane's voice.
I feel like I messed up using the rest of this stuff. I ain't gonna like it.
Those are my options on like how to die.
Come on, take a pick, guys.
I would rather go on the underwater adventure.
Okay.
I don't want to be like the Titanic. I'm not choosing underwater.
No,
yeah,
you
no,
want
I'm not about to.
It'll work differently for me. We're not rich, okay? We'll figure it out.
We're not rich enough for that shit.
Okay, you'll go with something manly like the fuck beam.
What the fuck is a fuck beam?
I don't even know how.
Try it out.
No, because there's a really good reason for why I don't want that.
What if it doesn't mean it in a sexual context, but in a different context?
What other context would there be?
Keep in mind,
or something that like that.
Keep in mind, which that's not the worst helmet out of this bunch. There's a helmet here literally called Shrinkage.
Yeah, I can shrink people's dicks, man. That's the helmet I want.
Which that's actually what it does.
Hell yeah! No, it's hilarious.
Oh my god. See, you're in the mind. Which you're in the mind of peace right now.
Give me that fucking helmet. I want to shrink these toxic dude bros' dicks.
Oh my god.
Me
so like
Peacemaker, we're like this. We're like, yeah, we got each other, you know?
Yep. I mean, Peacemaker's going on to say that, yeah, these are all invented by his father, which was about the only good thing he ever did for him. So, yeah, it's a tough choice, but he decides to go with the fuck beam helmet.
God damn it. Just take all of them.
All right. So, he takes that with them as they're going on their car ride. Peacemaker and the monkey actually start forming a bromance, even though Peacemaker has no idea what the monkey's saying because the monkey speaks French.
Oh yeah, he don't know French.
Yep. I kind of like what Peacemaker also brought up, saying, the first thing that the brain's going to do once he gets the body back, right? He going to jerk off. Come on.
Probably.
Yeah.
He has that sensation right now.
Yeah. Okay, but anyway, so they go out to this facility only to find that it's being guarded by none other than the demolition team, which is just a knockoff version of the Wrecking Crew. Yep, it's a long hard fight, but eventually, thanks to the fuck beam, he's able to fuck all of them. Yeah, I won't go any more than that, but
are we talking about?
I'm gonna just take your word for it.
If I ask for a picture, would this become like a real problem?
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying.
Like, just send it to us in the DMs.
I'll send it to you later. Hey, just make sure you understand the labels of these helmets. All right. All right. So anyway, Peacemaker and the monkey, and they end up taking out all these guys, and they come out with a strand of hair from Deathstroke. You have Peacemaker commenting, "Dude, is this pubic hair?" I'm like, you take it, monkey. Okay, so anyway, they're walking out the building. Peacemaker's like saying, this has been a really great team up, my friends don't want to come out for my outdoor barbecue next week. Do you want to tag along, Gorilla Guy? Oh, and that's when the gorilla ends up shooting Peacemaker in the back. And it turns out the gorilla could speak English this whole time.
Yeah.
So this is all set up. Hey, I'm
Bobier twin and spoke English once in a while.
I'm a genius. I speak dozens of languages. I just didn't wish to speak to a cretin like you.
I love this guy.
And that's when he contacts the brain, right? And he's saying, "Job well done." By the way, Peacemaker, we're keeping the dog.
No, not the dog.
Yep, I want
something. It's a good dog. I want to keep it too.
Hey, I want something to pet when I finally get my own body back.
Yeah, well, you can get your own
That's fair.
damn dog. You know how many dogs you can just like adopt? Lots.
Mhm.
But wait,
Lots of
he
dogs.
did get his own dog. Maybe Peacemaker should get another dog.
What about Peacemaker helps them get another dog?
Yeah, let's go get Ace from Bruce Wayne for real.
There you go.
I don't know. Maybe you can kidnap Crypto. I don't fucking know.
Funny enough,
That
like
actually be hilarious. They end up getting a dog and he just leaves.
funny enough, they actually do bring up like Ace the Boundhound and Batman in this comic. Like they're in the drive, right? Like Peacemaker is like actually venting some frustration to the monkey, saying like, everybody keeps talking like such hype over Batman. The dude's been fighting the same villains for what, 40 goddamn years. No, you guys don't see any of my rogues gallery, do you? They're not walking around the streets.
Yeah, that's why we can't pull stories with you. We need villains. Who's your nemesis?
Batman sells.
Yeah.
Oh,
listen, Joker is marketable.
Oh, you even brings up the Joker.
We're getting us unalive
Let's see. What I want in my time today, the Joker or a hospital full of children?
Right.
Oh wow, Batman's biggest arch nemesis is a literal clown, and people think Peacemaker's a joke. Oh man,
There's a lot of super villains that are considered jokes. Have you ever heard of a character named Codpiece?
I don't want to know that.
Yeah, no, he was very insecure, and then a lovely trans woman was like, "Fuck you," and melted the codpiece off.
Oh damn!
There was more to it, but he got insecure because ladies were saying that, like they were telling him that he was too short, but he took it as, "Oh, my penis too small, so I'm gonna make this like mechanical codpiece that has like a Gatling gun in there." You guys should look that up. That's very interesting. But anyways, we stand Coagula. They should bring her back.
Yep. And speaking of looking things up, if you audience, if you want to look up to see how the fuck beams works, look at Peacemaker. Yay!
Send pics, Cryptid in the DMs.
All right.
All right, guys.
We need to keep moving and pushing. So
yeah, keep on going, keep on moving.
Oh man! All right, so we have one comic left. Captain America 750. Yay and nay.
I've been waiting to hear your take on this because I know some of it.
Keep in mind before we get this started, Cryptid told me to read this book, like this issue, and I was like, okay, I'll look into it. And I couldn't find this issue anywhere that I could actually read it without obviously having to buy it because I'm not going to my comic book shop this month for obvious reasons. So I was like, okay, I'll just try to find screenshots online. And luckily, some of my mutuals on the Clock app was like, I got you, bro. And I'm like, oh, thank God. So I kind of know what he meant by you should read this issue. Anyways, you can go on.
Okay, so basically, like, it's a special jumbo size issue. This is really like the epilogue of Tochiani Buchi and the Sentinel Liberty team, each getting like their own story as an epilogue. Like we first start off with Sam Wilson. This was months before, this the Symbol of Truth comic came out, right? You see him; he's actually walking to the cemetery in Harlem just to go visit his parents. Real touching moment, and it's where we actually get to see Misty Knight giving him like his shield, the one with like the falcon sort of wings in the centerpiece as a star. Yeah, we get an origin of that. Turns out this shield was actually a joint effort with all the Avengers.
Dang, they all pitched in.
Yep, T'Challa came in with vibranium, and somehow, like, I guess everybody took turns swinging a hammer to mold the shield. Yes.
Yeah, they gave like a very brief description of it. But,
yeah.
So, Thor don't say the thing to the heart of a dying star, start hammering away.
Well, okay, let's think of it this way. This shield was blessed by all the Avengers, you know?
It's an Avenging shield. If you ever die, Sam, it'll kill your enemy itself.
Yeah.
A pure spite.
Cool. But anyway, this is really like Missy trying to help convince Sam to go back to donning the, Captain America mantle. And Sam is like, he really doesn't want to. Like, it was good for a moment, but, he doesn't know if he could bear the weight of taking the mantle up again. And, Missy's even bringing up, like, dude, we all want you to go back to being Cap. What don't you get? We all know you're good enough. And then Sam's like, stop. Can't my choice be put into consideration too? And he even kind of like brings this up like, oh, okay, so what? You guys just want me to go into, be the Black Captain America or something like that? Why can't I have a choice in this? I don't want to go back to being Cap as long as it's something that's forced upon me or something like that,
Go off, Sam.
Yeah, so, and you end up getting much deeper into the root as to why Sam is afraid of going back into the mantle. It's because Sam is worried he'll eventually have to reach a point where he has to retire the shield again,
Which he will.
He did that once and he didn't like that. It was hard for him. So he didn't want to live through that again. But then this is Missy coming out and saying, Sam, we're all not going to be here forever. That's why we got to make the time we are here count the most. Regardless if you're Captain America Falcon, we'll all be with you. And that's when, unfortunately, like some group attacks their cabin, and instinctively, like Sam just grabs a shield, and the two end up fighting off against him and beating them. And I guess Sam deep down just missed the feeling of a shield in his hands. So he's like saying he'll go back to being to taking the Captain America mantle, but first he just wants to pay his respects to his parents. Kind of like, telling them how much he misses them, how much they wish, they could be here to be part of the decision of, him taking the mantle. But let me read this line because I like this line. He just says, so thank you, Mom and Dad. Thank you for making me the man who could do this. The man who could be Captain America. And I was yeah.
His parents didn't do that. Red Skull did that.
Well, no, that was revealed later on that Red Skull made up that whole origin of Sam being a drug dealer.
No.
What?
Yeah, it was a cosmic cube.
That's kind of disappointing.
Oh my god, you just gave Austin a crisis, man.
Well,
I have to turn him back into a brick. I'm sorry.
It was literally like the story after Sam Wilson became Captain America, right? Where he was fighting off against Red Skull's daughter, Sin, who basically became the new Red Skull. And later on, you came to find out that, the cube that was used on Sam, during his intro story, it just made up that whole Snap Wilson persona of him being a drug dealer and that stuff.
Now you gave Austin a crisis. Thank you. And now I have to turn him back into a brick with no legs and no arms.
Yep.
Infinite crisis.
Yep, but keep this in mind. Keep this in mind. Like, this is also probably Marvel wanting to come in and say, yeah, we don't want to have to say that the first African American superhero we ever made was a drug dealer.
No, we can say that for later.
Yeah.
He also reiterates in this comic that he's just a man and he's not a superhero.
Well, he has bird powers, so yeah.
Well, I mean,
he doesn't have super soldier serum. Let's just clarify that out.
That's a huge thing on TikTok right now when people are arguing because they never actually officially got rid of him having it. That he still has it. He just doesn't remember because the Heroes Reborn.
You gotta remember, Marvel is divorcing themselves from Heroes Reborn. I mean, let's not forget we had a Heroes Reborn event like a year or two ago, but there was no mention of the original Heroes Reborn story. And also keep this in mind, when it came to the Secret Wars 2 reboot of the universe, it basically the rule is if it wasn't mentioned in the past, then it likely didn't happen. So yeah, common misconception to assume that Sam has any serum in him. It's kind of like the same assumption people had with Bucky, as a Winter Soldier. Like, oh, he must have had the Super Soldier Serum. No, in the comics, he was just highly trained. That was it.
Didn't they retcon like something called like the Infinity Serum or something?
No,
or
later on, during the Fear Itself event, when Bucky was still Cap, he got fatally stabbed by a Sin, right, and was about to die up until Nick Fury took him in and saved him by giving him some of the Infinity Formula.
Okay.
Yep. So Bucky never didn't get the Infinity Formula until much later into his career.
Good on him. That's more impressive.
Okay. So anyway, yeah, that's pretty much the final say we'll have on Tochi Onyebuchi's run on Captain America from Sam. I thought it was a nice, pleasant way to wrap it all up. Now we get into the Sentinel Liberty part. Okay,
you got this.
Okay. So this is the funeral for the Destroyer. Yeah, and Steve is, with everybody here during this funeral. And oh yeah, so I guess Steve didn't choose to stay in Dimension Z as long as he promised. Remember how like Cold War ended? Yeah, I'm just gonna sit here and
be here forever.
Yeah. Oh my god. Like probably a whole year had to pass already in Dimension Z at the time it takes for this funeral to happen, Keep that in mind. But anyway, so yeah, Steve comes in, everybody says their part in commemorating the destroyer. Even Sharon comes up and kind of like this bit. She didn't really know the destroyer for that long, but she's like, you know what? He was a good enough man that I'm going to uphold his mantle and do him proud as the new destroyer. As she suits up in the midst of the funeral.
Couldn't she have waited till after the goddamn funeral, like a normal person?
I know.
Everyone at the funeral, she puts her suit on.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, funeral commences. They bury the destroyer. I kind of like what they had to put on his tombstone. Roger Aubrey, a man of love and destroyer of hate. Aw, that was a little sweet. But out in the distance, wait, but before I get to this part, you find like this robot thing that was from the Sentinel Liberty run. I guess Cap befriends him or whatever, and the robot's like, you know what? Now that I'm free from the outer circle, I kind of want to be exploring the world, see what this has to offer, see all the beauty it has. So, and this is where Steve kind of bestows upon him the mantle of nomad. Like, yeah, whatever.
Like nomad?
That's kind of lame.
Steve used that.
Oh man.
The movies.
I get nomad. I get the nomad I want back for 5 minutes, only for him to be thrown out of the way from Marvel. Like, damn. But anyway, after his conversation with the robot, that's when Steve spots who else? Bucky from a distance. Yeah. Because audience, keep in mind, like, in the midst of Bucky's grand plan, it was his domino effect of of a plan that caused the destroyer to get killed. So yeah, he pops up. Yeah, he pops up. Steve has a one-on-one conversation with him. You know, like this is really Bucky's second chance of kind of explaining what happened with Dimensions, with that whole Cold War event.
Did you say comic explaining?
Huh?
What did you just say?
The Cold War event.
Did you say comic explaining?
I didn't intend to say it like that, but all right, yeah, comic explaining. How about that?
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, Bucky's like, look, Steve, I'm sorry for everything. All right, I'm sorry about Ian. I'm sorry about the Destroyer. Hell, I'm sorry about shooting you in the shoulder. All right, but look, hear me out. Hear me out. The Outer Circle, they were going to go after Ian regardless. At least if it was just that's why me and Peggy took it upon ourselves to kidnap Ian, so at least we'll be safer with him, as opposed to the other heads.
Yeah, Jake. Wait, aren't y'all happy it was me who tortured your son instead of them?
Yeah,
that's also what I want to bring up too, because you two shot a rocket launcher at Ian and Steve while they were at a cafe together.
Yeah, that's kind of a bit much. You couldn't have waited till until they're out of the cafe.
Yeah.
Couldn't have waited at least 20 minutes.
Oh my god, this was just. Oh, and also, Stucky goes on to say that, look, Ian was your weakness, Steve. They would have used him as leverage. I mean, heck, the way you were acting in Dimension Z, that, that's proof that if they held Ian hostage, you would have been screwed. But look, my plan at least ensured that Ian is now off the table. He's in Dimension Z and he's leader of his own kingdom now, so he is safe.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, but we didn't want him off the table. We're going to be used in the comic.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, keep in mind. Okay, so that whole Cold War event was about getting rid of Ian, basically.
Yes.
No, look, at least it's better than them just let him sit around not doing anything like Jimmy does. I'll give him that.
I guess, but this whole Cold War event, this whole Bucky thing, this is a textbook example of the phrase "good intentions pave the way to hell." Because I remember, listening to all the interviews and articles about Jackson Lansing and Colin Kelly, talking about their upcoming Captain America run, specifically about Bucky, how they really want to progress the character to the next stage of his evolution, of his story. And dude, from what I've been reading from the comics I've read of their run, this has been the most irritating, frustrating Bucky I have ever read. Dude. I'm glad you guys are off so badly. Bucky, I don't care what anybody says, you don't even deserve the hair you have after all those stunts you pulled. Shave it off. Yep. Yeah. Okay. So basically, they hug it out, Steve and Bucky. And
they really shouldn't. I don't see how Steve is doing this right now.
You betrayed.
Kind of a mess.
Yeah, Bucky, you betrayed me. Yeah, you shot me.
This is the first time I felt abandoned by you, and then they hug it out and you go home.
That was so funny because Steve was like, "Look, I can forgive you shooting at me. I can forgive what happened to Roger, Aubrey. I can even forgive you kidnapping Ian. But what's unforgivable, what's hard to heal from this, is that you betrayed me. I felt like I was all alone now. What the hell, dude? Oh, fuck. Oh,
I can't believe it.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, and also we get a surprise.
You have Shepard who wrote the story.
I want them out like so badly. But anyway, we also get a surprise visit from the grandson of the guy who got retconned into making Steve Shield. Okay,
Yep.
and basically the letter out of nowhere comes up and says, "Yeah, the shield itself, it's actually a kill switch that could defeat the outer circle." Like what?
Well, I'm sorry we didn't tell you that throughout the whole 60 years before they came out that week when I could have let you but bullets left.
I know. So what? There's like some scanner or something in the building of the Power Elite that if you display the shield, the whole building blows up or something. What?
Cryptid. That means somewhere in this building, there's just a random circle hole in a wall.
Exactly. let's just go with it. I guess this run is over. And then, Steve and Bucky, they hug it out saying, "You'll never fight alone, Steve." You know what, Bucky? After this, I want in the next issue, because apparently there's one final issue left of Sentinel Liberty comic. I want you to shoot all the members of the Outer Circle, and after that, I want you to go off the grid for a couple years now, because I have trouble seeing you now after all the shit you pulled. You know?
Facts.
Yep. So yeah, that's basically how the issue ends. And we're treated to a couple of other story, 4 mini stories, right? You have one story of Sam Wilson, having a speech for a bunch of college kids, this and that, about his time as a hero. You have a story of Steve and Sam sparring with each other, target practicing with their shields, discussing the next Captain America that will one day precede them. Because I still in my heart of hearts believe one day we will get a 10th official Captain America. So I still believe that'll happen. And we again like a story about Steve just basically saying, yeah, everything progressive in today's world, it's great. But the real big story out of the rest of these guys was the story called The Hero. And it was actually the story of Arnie Roof. Which, you want to explain who Arnie Roof is?
And quickly
Arnie
too,
Roth?
and
Arnie
quickly
Roth,
too,
yeah,
we have a review. You have your review after this.
Yep.
Okay, we'll make it quick. So basically, in simple terms, for all the MCU people, basically, Arnie Roth was Steve's childhood best friend, not Bucky. To all the MCU people, Jesus, it was Arnie Roth, and he was revealed later on that he is gay and had a partner, which was really sweet. But unfortunately, he did pass away, so we don't really get to see much of him anymore. Besides these little tidbits.
Yeah.
He was. It wasn't a situation where they decided that later. He was always intended to be gay.
Yes, just like other characters as well. But life happens.
He was a Jewish gay person, but also the best friend of Steve. Growing up, even to the point where his family let Steve in with a home, whenever Steve was at his lowest. Eventually, as things went on, Steve, of course, went to the military, while Arnie, he enlisted as a sailor in the Navy. And this story is basically talking about the life of Arnie as Steve is paying respects to him in his graveyard.
And he adds a little stone on top before he leaves.
Yep.
Because stones last longer than flowers.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I mean it was a was a great little story, and I know Arnie is not exactly like a public name to most people who are familiar with Captain America, right? He's a real deep dive, which is why I appreciate this issue. Giving us a story all about him, so his character doesn't get forgotten. And especially with his importance to Steve's life and all that stuff. And who's to say we won't see Arnie in the upcoming J. Michael Straczynski's Captain America run? Because keep in mind, it did state we will be seeing Steve in like his early teen years. So yeah.
So maybe.
Yep. So yeah, that's really how the issue ends, and yeah, I like the Sam story. Jackson, what's his name? Colin Kelly and Jackson Lansing. Damn, I can't even say America the way I normally say it. You guys just killed the hell out of me with Leprechaun.
Evil.
But which your review, and also because we have something else after this too, it's a discussion. Can you keep it 10, 15 minutes?
I'll keep it quick because I don't want to give that many spoilers for this such amazing movie.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna let you say the lead. I didn't want to spoil either. This movie's actually pretty good.
It's really good. So, last week as of recording this, I wanted to talk about the movie Nimona, which just recently came out, which I saw the day that it actually came out. So it came out on Netflix, by the way. Hey, shut up. Stuff happened, and I wasn't able to actually talk about it the weekend afterwards. But I'm talking about it now. So basically, Nimona is based off of a graphic novel, that came out years ago, and basically it was supposed to be made by Blue Sky Studios, rest in peace. But Disney was like, "Fuck you, no," and that was basically in development hell. Basically, it was dead until Netflix and another studio, I can't remember the actual name of the studio, I'm sorry, was like, "Hey, we got you, bro. We'll help you finish this movie. You only have 25% left. We got you, bro." Because they were almost finished with the movie. So basically, they were like, "We'll just post it on Netflix. It's all good. Don't worry about it." So yeah. So basically, it follows the story of Ballister, who is becoming a knight. He's the first commoner to actually join the knights, I guess you could say. And this isn't really a spoiler since it's in the first couple minutes of the movie. But he is blamed for killing the queen, and so he has to try to clear his name. And Nimona didn't know this at first, and she wants to get recruited by him to be his evil sidekick. And yes, she could shapeshift. And yes, Ballister is really gay for Ambrosius, who is voiced by Eugene Liang of the Try Guys. Oh my god! But no, I don't want to get too into this, but it has a lot of hijinks. It has a lot of heart. Yeah. At the end of the credits, we get a little thing for suicide prevention, which I thought was really sweet because there is a part in the movie that really touches on that in a way, which I'm not going to get into. But think of this movie as a movie with a lot of heart, a movie with found family in it, and yeah, it's really good. Austin, you want to add anything?
I really like it. I feel like you should go watch it then. I don't want to really spoil anything. It's very good. Animation wise, story wise, the little girl is very fun.
Yeah, Nimona was hilarious in this movie.
Yeah, I saw a trailer for this. It seemed interesting, but I just didn't have time to watch it. It's definitely on my radar, though.
It's so good.
Wait, we'll have to pick it for a movie night at some point.
Oh, we should. Mm-hmm. The animation is really good. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care if it looks unfinished. It actually uses that to its benefit. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it's a really good movie. I recommend it for everyone. Does it stay accurate to the graphic novel? To my knowledge, no, because I haven't read it yet. But that's okay because this movie is really good on its own. And yeah, I'm glad that this movie was able to get released after it basically died. And there was like a little thing in the credits and in somewhere like in some spots in the movie where it's like Blue Sky never dies, and I'm like, you know what, Slay, go off. And if you're wondering what Blue Sky is known for, they made Ice Age and the Peanuts movie, so just letting y'all know that now. And also I was watching the credits and literal children were born during the making of this movie. So just remember the dedication to this cause.
Oh.
Yeah, anyways. Also, there's a lot of allegory here, so I thought that was a nice touch.
Oh, so you there?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got gay shit, we got gender fluid characters. You know, we got some trans allegory here. We get the depression. It's great. It's basically just me wrapped up in a nice little movie.
Yeah.
Made.
Go watch the movie. Go watch the movie, and if you have watched the movie, let us know what you thought in the comments below.
Yes, please. I want to talk about gay people in the comments.
Yes. Gotcha. But speaking of gay, let's talk about the straight and narrow boringness that is Secret Invasion.
When is Daisy Johnson coming up?
I was trying to do a segue, but it didn't really work out.
I mean, it had some in there. You just gotta
This is the episode that bored me, honestly.
So we're just gonna make this a mid-season discussion. So we watched half of the show. Where are we? Where is everybody here with the show?
It's fine.
You need Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Go on. You need some flavor.
What the hell are you talking about?
You need seasoning in the Shield, and frankly, like Nick Fury, dude. I don't want to look at anything from Nick Fury's past ever again because Talos just brought it up. Nick Fury, you are a fraud. Like all your accomplishments was because of Skrulls, dude.
But to be fair, we knew that going in. That's what that whole movie was about.
No. I said the same thing. I was watching this with Austin. I said, bro, they need to stop focusing on Nick Fury's past because every time they do it, it makes him look worse.
I know. Like,
I don't want to focus on Talos' past. Have we ever thought about that?
Look, I could imagine like the Skrulls helping Nick Fury out from here and there, but to let it out in the open that the only reason Nick Fury got to the rank that he was is literally all based on Skrull labor. Wow.
I bet they weren't even getting paid for it, dude. I bet they didn't even get health care.
And then it's like, well, I mean, like you could still have the Skrulls help him, but maybe Nick was like, but I gotta learn how to live without the Skrulls, so I made the LMDs or something. Which maybe they could still say he made life model decoys, and the Skrulls don't know. But like I did the technology. I've been making plans on top of plans. It wasn't all the Skrulls, but they were great assets. But that was my big problem with that record.
I don't think Nick Fury's character could ever come back after this, to be honest. Like I can't look at you the same way ever again, dude.
Unless I think the only way to save him is the theory that he has some secret plan that this whole time this has all just been a setup or something that might save a little.
Tell me Brian's gonna bench ruin that secret plan. I'm saying that right now. I don't know if you pay attention to dialogue because we're spoiling stuff, right?
Yeah. Spoilers. If you don't want spoilers, get out of here. So,
because this episode basically confirmed that Rhodey was a Skrull,
which is something everybody already knew.
It's like we already
knew it, but they confirmed it verbally when the Skrull upstairs calls him Nick, and he's like, "No one ever calls me Nick," and that's exactly what Rhodey kept calling him the last episode.
Yeah.
So you're telling me, like, you're gonna tell me later he has a secret plan, but when he talked to a confirmed Skrull that he knows the Skrull, they fires him. He starts going to the bench and crying, and he runs home to his wife.
Maybe it was like just like oh god, Rhodey's a Skrull too. Maybe that's what it kind of supposed to be. I don't know.
Rhodey, you stop trying to play it up. They're just black.
I think I don't know. This Nick Fury, I feel like Talos is a better Nick Fury than Nick, and I think that's supposed to be the point. I think Talos is gonna be Nick Fury going forward.
He was already Nick Fury. That's what keeps.
No, I mean like it's like confirmed because he was Nick Fury in like Far From Home, But we still don't have a confirmation that it was Nick
Apparently, he's been
Fury.
Nick Fury for a lot longer than that. He's been Nick Fury
Yeah,
for
we don't
5
have
years.
until we have confirmation of that. That's just a theory. But as far as the show seems to imply, he's only been Nick Fury since the snap.
No, he's been Nick Fury for 5 years. So it's a snap.
Yeah. So yeah, until they
we know that
confirm,
he's been at least Nick Fury since Age of Ultron. So
yeah, well, that's the theory. But like I said, until they confirm that, because there's a lot of things they could be confirming now, but they don't, because I don't think the writers are that creative. I think we've been with Nick Fury up to this point. And I think Talos is going to be the next Nick Fury. I think he's just going to replace him outright in the universe. So,
even with Talos, I just feel like he's a dry character, to be honest. Like, I don't see any hype with the character.
He could be David Hasselhoff. He could be that Nick Fury.
Yeah. No. Bring back David Hasselhoff. If we're getting like this whole multiversal thing, let's have David Hasselhoff come back as the OG Nick Fury.
Yeah. I just think the show's boring and uncreative. The only thing I disagree with you, Cryptid, is I think you could perfectly do a show and it's just Nick Fury and maybe just an Avenger, maybe like Rhodey or something. I don't know if you need him, but I don't even think you need Rhodey. I think you could do it with just Nick Fury. The problem is Nick Fury is boring as hell and the show is boring as hell. So I don't know.
Yeah. And everybody treats him like crap. Did you notice that? Like even his wife.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't think the writers know the Nick Fury character. I still think the best way he was written was in Cap 2.
Yeah.
Agree with that.
Oh wait. Speaking of Cap 2, like if Nick Fury had the resources and scrolls all this time, how come the scrolls never popped up during the Hydra invasion?
Do you think some of the Skrulls were trying to team up with Hydra though? Or do you think? Oh wait, do you think the Skrulls that teamed up with Cap, agents that teamed up with Cap were all Skrulls?
I feel like if they were, then they could have used their shape-shifting powers. That could have come in handy during their fight back.
That would be the worst retcon you can do. They'd be like, oh, all these situations where shapeshifting come in handy, they just didn't do.
Well, we also know that they have the shapeshift mask, and that still doesn't come up in this show of all shows.
Well, those only shapeshift the mask, not the body.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, it only shapeshifts. Wait, it doesn't change your body.
It's a face changing thing that Black Widow used one time. It looked like a thin sheet of metal.
Okay.
Yeah.
I still wish this had the Skrulls or something to help develop that technology or something. I don't know. After
being mad that the Skrulls are help make Nick Fury, I'm surprised you want to add more stuff to their company.
I don't want there's a difference between having him like, oh, we help make some of your technology to I built your character from the ground up. Like I was your spy network. That's just a lot different.
Like you would have still been a desk jockey to this day if it wasn't for us.
I have no problem. Even going into the show, I said I had no problem with the Skrulls like helping Advance Shield get the technology there. But the fact that Nick Fury's character hinged on the Skrulls is my problem. That's what I have an issue with.
The real question is, did Coulson know?
Did he? And Coulson was a life. Coulson had a life.
He didn't find out about the scroll in the Captain Marvel movie.
It's true. I don't know. I don't know if Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is canon.
Fraud. He died for a fraud.
Yeah.
Oh man. That's brutal.
That Gaia didn't actually die. You can agree with that.
Even if she did die later on, so even if she did die or not, honestly, who cares? Like, what's the investment in her character? Like,
she's a double agent.
I think also the downside of this story is that they don't seem to know how to make the Skrull invasion interesting. All the Skrull turns are just so obvious. Like I'm like, we looked at Rhodey, we're like, yeah, he's a Skrull. You know what I mean? Because who else could it be?
Yeah, there was no setup going into this event, and there's not enough people here for it to be shocking that other people are Skrulls. Especially when most of everyone you done did so far have been very obvious. Like everyone went into the show thinking Rhoda's going to be a Skrull. He's the only other named person here.
Right.
So for you to even slightly revealed in the next episode was already horrible.
Right. We also have, and then Gravik himself. I mean, he's just not doing it for me. Like, I don't know what people who watch the show seem to like him. I just think he's boring.
I like the scene. I like the scene where Nick Fury stabbed him in the hand, and then once Fury left, Gravik just pulled his hand back and healed from that. I thought that was a pretty cool scene.
I think he's billed as a poor man Super Skrull, really.
He's going to be.
Why couldn't we just get the regular Super Skrulls?
Well, no. Yeah, he's going to be Super Skrull. So I was right.
Which if they bring in the actual Super Skrull,
they showed it in the trailer.
Oh, but that is not like the Super Skrulls.
In the trailer, you see him do the group power and the extremis.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Which, if we see the actual Super Skrull here, who's going to fight him?
Your mom.
Rhodey, the real
family. It's going to be a human Nick Fury plan, and he's going to release the real Rhodey, and Rhodey's going to just war machine and carpet bomb his snake, or whatever he said.
I was about to say, yeah. Given Nick Fury's track record, I'll actually put money on my mom fighting the Super Skrull better than Nick Fury, honestly. So,
yeah, that's my other problem. Every other person doing the espionage used to be doing it way better than Fury. I think even Talos. And then even here, despite Fury working with the Skrulls for years, for some reason his plan when the bomb is going off, he's like, why don't I impersonate him and just like turn off the bomb? And then like Talos like, it doesn't work like that. I would actually need to know the code. I'm like, Fury, you worked with him for years. You don't know how Skrulls work. It just seems like Fury just comes across as an idiot. I just can't get involved with, and this is his show. So,
wow. Well, okay. While we're on that subject, you guys want to talk about the Captain Marvel sequel? What was it really supposed to be?
Segue into that, but you can go ahead.
Okay,
there's a lot of rumbling. There's a lot of rumbling in the underbelly of Marvel Comics right now.
Okay.
And a lot of stuff is coming out the more the show keeps going. And we knew before this, the movie of Captain Marvel 2 was changed heavily because of the reception to the first movie. Apparently, this plot, wherever it started from, was supposed to be the original Captain Marvel 2 before they decided to do Miss Marvel and Photon in the same film.
Mm-hmm.
So you remember when Carol first signed on, she was getting 3 solo films. And because her first movie was considered bad by so many people, they took back her time. And that's why she's trying to leave the role anyway.
She's trying to leave the Captain Marvel role?
We talked about this a long time ago, yes.
Okay.
She's been unhappy with this role, her reduced stuff for a while.
I knew she was unhappy. I didn't know she was trying to leave it.
Dude,
she's taking a break after Captain Marvel 2 for a super long time. Like, it's implied she's not going to go film her other things for the other stuff.
Yeah.
Dude, she probably came in thinking like she was going to be the next Iron Man, which is how the studio sold it to her for the Captain Marvel role. Only, well, things turned out the exact opposite. But in terms of like, well, in terms of like, Secret Invasion being the Captain Marvel, originally being the Captain Marvel 2 plot, I believe that because there's just way too much going on in this show that Carol needs to be part of,
Carol's not even brought up in the discussion, even though a lot of this is also her fault.
Yep.
So
she's not going to know about this or take responsibility.
No. Unless if
they mentioned her several times in this series, and yet we still not have seen her in this series. I'm like, are you guys too busy with the Marvels to have Carol just pull up for like 2 minutes in an episode?
The more I think about it, it probably would have been beneficial for Kamala Khan to maybe deal with the Skrulls. That way she could, when she meets Captain Marvel, she could put it in her face. Like, hey, you're supposed to help these people. What the fuck happened?
That would be good to have every person relate to Carol, just not like Carol.
Yeah.
They already told Kamala. So.
Well, Photon don't. Kamala can be the person that picks her back up after Photon puts her in place.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
I don't know. I feel like the show had like a bit of hype when, in the last episode, Tails mentioned, hey, there are actually a million scrolls here on Earth. That intrigued my interest, but now I don't even care anymore, to be honest.
I thought that
It's
was
a million scrolls. All of them gonna be like super obvious. They're gonna be like just crip walking, just walking down the street weird. It's like, yeah, that's alien.
Yeah, I thought it was obvious though. I was shocked to find that Nick Fury was like upset about that. I was like, oh, I thought you knew all this. Where else are they gonna go? Of course he would call him over here. Where else are they gonna say they should go? You know?
No. To be fair, from his point of view, they already had places to be. They just didn't have one planet they all stay on.
Oh, yes.
They were like in Carol. They're like there's other groups doing their own thing. But y'all come with me and help me out. That's basically what happened. So I wouldn't immediately jump to. He's just gonna fight all the rest of his race, aren't they?
I guess.
I mean, he could have thought about it and prepared for it because it's been what 40 years, 30 years, and our planet's kind of nice to the outside look.
Yeah. Also,
it's not perfect.
I'm saying him not immediately jumping to it.
Speaking of the time scale, yeah, this show picks the wrong thing. Instead of trying to say this is how Nick Fury rose to power, the Skrulls actually don't seem like they do a lot. I don't know what they do. I know that they're responsible for something. They're responsible for something in the MCU, but other than helping Nick Fury, they don't really go into detail about it. You know what I mean?
Like, I would be so mad. What did he help out specifically? That's what I want to know. What messed up project were you doing with Nick Fury? Like, you know what? F this black guy.
Right. I know, like, Austin and I were making the theory that, maybe they were responsible for all the secret invasions and stuff like that. That would have been very interesting as a way to go back in. Like, you know how Winter Soldier changed the way you looked at
take over the planet for so long. How many times do we have to make an organization?
Right. It's kind of like the way Winter Soldier made you relook at Avengers. I think this show kind of made you relook at every MCU property with a secret invasion storyline, and you'll be like, "Oh, what the fucking Skrulls?" Okay, could have been something like that. But
it's kind of crazy that every time we get a human connected to a spy, they try to do secret invasion plot. They got and did it Winter Soldier, Black Widow, and Sam and Bucky show.
Falcon and Winter Soldier.
I guess we could talk about it too, because I think with Winter Soldier did the secret invasion storyline the best, but it wasn't like.
Yeah.
I mean, if you watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., you were probably like looking at some of those characters from that show in the movie, like Sitwell. I know, like he was a shock for a lot of people. You're like, oh no, Sitwell was a Hydra agent. But even as someone who didn't watch that show, just seeing how entrenched Hydra was into society, the movie did a good job of making you be like, oh shit, they're everywhere.
Even the guy who gave Nick his position was Hydra.
Right. I thought that was, and it's like, for me, as someone who didn't watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I was looking at a bunch of nobodies, but it was still intriguing to me seeing who was with Hydra and who wasn't. I can't say that about this show. So, yeah.
As you said earlier, it made you go at the Avengers like, oh, so every person here who saw sit that nuke were a Hydra agent trying to kill the Avengers while they had a chance.
Yeah. So, it left an impression. I think, like I said, over here, I don't get an impression. There's nothing here. Or they could have just done more with the cult aspect. I think like in the original Secret Invasion comic, it was about the Skrull Queen.
Also, a random fun fact, since we're talking about cults in the Marvel Universe, during Civil War, there was a Marvel cult because they thought Marvel came back to life. But he found out that he was a Skrull, and then that led to the invasion. Completely thinks back into the topic.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, I apologize.
Yeah, there was a Marvel cult.
Will we ever get one "He loves you" line?
No.
In this series? Nah, probably not.
No, probably not.
I really don't.
Wait until Wednesday to see Jake.
I think as far as all the other shows go, I think this is the one that's let me down the most. I would say every other Marvel show, I could think of something to enjoy. This is the one I thought would be like an easy slam dunk for Marvel. It's a grounded spy show. You don't have to adhere to the superhero rules. You can make like just an espionage thriller show with like humans and shit. And somehow it's the least interesting out of anything Marvel I've seen. So, I don't know how they
Wow.
You got the brothers and those writers, or get the writer from James Bond or something.
right.
Like you guys know, I wasn't a fan of Moon Knight, but I can at least remember it for the cool fight scenes and that stuff.
I
I
can
can't remember anything.
No, at least there's like always one thing in a Marvel show that I can find enjoyable, but this one is just kind of boring. And this is coming from the same person who didn't like Hawkeye.
Well, yeah, Marvel shows were
that's smart though.
The older Marvel shows were good at like gimmicks. Like every show, I think, other than Falcon and Winter Soldier, which was just a Captain America movie, but every other show had like a gimmick, like a theme or something. Like WandaVision was sitcoms, Loki was mystery, Hawkeye was a holiday show, Moon Knight was a schizophrenia type feel to it.
No, it's CID, man. There's a difference.
Oh, my bad. But the point being, it relied on a type of hook to get the audience in, and this show just kind of plays it so flat and so straight. Now,
you know what they could have done to make this show a little bit better?
Just did
add Hulkling. Add Hulkling.
No, I don't want Hulkling in this goddamn show, Cryptid. Can you let me speak?
You can't say that every week, Cryptid.
No, they should have done a gimmick for this show and pulled in from like the noir genre.
Yeah. Oh, that would have been cool.
Okay.
Yeah. I was thinking more like a James Bond thing too, but noir
that
also
works too.
You want noir where it's like when you bring up noir, I'm thinking like Nick Fury in his detective room, like talking to himself. It's December 19th.
Yeah, let's go.
Or maybe you know what? No. Maybe it starts with a murder, and then like Nick has to solve it because it's a high profile case, and then he leads into the scrolls. He's like, "Oh, my old friends or enemies," or if that's who they are, or something like that. That could have been
my other half.
Yeah.
Audience. No, I don't want Hulkling in this show. He would not fit in this show. When Secret Invasion really happened, he wasn't really that prevalent in the thing.
Yeah. But yeah, all in all, I think this is my biggest disappointment. I don't think my expectations were too high for the show. I don't think so. Like I said,
no, you said that your expectations were really high for this show.
I would say like if I even ignored my Nick Fury complaint, and let's just say I just enjoyed it for just being a spy show, I would say it's just okay. As a Nick Fury show, this is terrible, but as like a spy show, it's like,
wow.
The spy show is bad. Even like as we were looking at now, there's no way, based on this, the person they have at the lead right now, there's no way this Nick Fury should be able to find a way to outthink and outplay Super Skrull based on what we've seen it. There's no realistic way that this Nick Fury that they're setting up could do that. Yeah. What they're going to do is some bullshit twist where it's like, oh, I had a plan from the beginning, but we know that's not the case. Because unless this man is going, unless he thinks he's being watched at all times and he's going off and crying and being an idiot to himself just to make them lower his guard, what would be bad writing? I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. Maybe they can introduce the life model decoys or something. I don't know how he's gonna have them.
If they do, I feel like it's late for me to care about that now. We're gonna say it's a life model decoy malfunctioning. That's why it's emotional.
Maybe it's like one of the Dr. Doom's life model decoys where they get actually righteously angry.
Doombot?
No, that Maria Hill was the life model decoy. I had her go undercover so we can figure this thing out.
There you go.
And she was part of my plan. Like it's the only way I feel like see that coming into play.
Yeah.
So got 3 more episodes to go, guys. Now let's have some fun with this. What's going to have to happen in the next 3 episodes to get you guys excited again?
Nick Fury's. I want the if he hasn't a plan, I want the Ocean's 11 style reveal. I don't know if you guys have watched like any of the Ocean movies. Or like you see the heist and then something goes wrong, but turns out it was right all along, and then they go back and explain.
No, that's what it has to be. That's the only way they'll be do a twist in the show. Yeah. They'll have to do that.
I like how you guys had like genuine like stuff that you would have wanted, and all I just thought was gay shit.
Yeah. Hey, I just want some of my Asian Shield crew back.
Oh yeah, we need Quake. We need her.
Yeah.
I don't want to come back in this show.
I want to bring this up too. The Nick Fury and Talos scene at the bar. I feel like I would have been okay with it if if Nick wasn't dragged through the mud for the last 3 episodes.
There has been a lot of erotic tension between those two, and I can't be the only one who saw that.
Nick begging for help should be like a rarity. Nick begging for anyone's help should be like a rarity, but it should not be something like he just does.
Nick bringing up a black card shouldn't have been into play, but there you see him doing that.
This guy he's been working with for 40 years for help.
But
then him pulling the black card.
Yeah. No, I didn't like that.
My reaction towards major parts of this episode is Austin's current profile pic on Discord.
My pick is depressed Tom Holland as a senior there.
Yeah. That's my face. That was my face talking about this episode, and that's my face when Cryptid talks about Spider-Boy. Or just Spider-Man in general.
But yeah, what'd you guys want to see in the show for it to save it for you?
I already said Shield. Like
I said,
I want to have them in this bad writing. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Hey, it may be nostalgia bait, but hey, I need I need a sugar rush of some kind, you know?
You know what? I'll give this to you, Cryptid. I'll give this to you, man.
Mm-hmm.
I want them to somehow segue to Nick Fury's son, who is a white man.
Yeah.
I would love for this Nick to retire and you feel like he got replaced by like a white life model decoy or something. I think it would be hilarious.
Nick Fury would be like saying, "Oh, I'm sending you to all my dangerous missions now."
What about you?
I literally said it. I wanted Quake and I wanted gay shit. Okay. And I know I'm gonna get only one of those, and it's probably not the gay shit.
Mm-hmm.
If we don't see two Skrulls go full like intangible and just start nailing each other,
Stop.
I want some Martian Manhunter type
homoerotic tension between Nick Fury and Talos, but hey, here you are. Yeah, I don't know what you're saying over here.
Talos turned to
address the homoerotic undertones.
If Talos turned into a girl, is it still gay?
Yes.
That was established. Skrulls don't have a gender, which.
Yeah, I already said Skrulls don't really have the concept of human gender. That.
Yeah.
I want to add this one last thing. This whole premise of Nick being the way he is because the snap traumatized him, even though like because it was something that was out of his control. But even though the plan he made for this scenario worked, which was Captain Marvel and the Avengers, this seems more like an excuse. I'm not gonna lie. They're not dealing with it. He's just saying it as they're using it as an excuse for why they don't have to write Nick correctly. But it's not doing anything for his character. And it doesn't really make much sense. Like I said, so he got snapped out of reality. So what? Because of him, the Avengers exist. Because of him, Captain Marvel came back. So it worked. He beat Thanos without even meeting the guy.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I think it comes back to what the actual movie was supposed to be. Because it was supposed to be, the movie would have been a modern day time with Nick Fury and Carol. So I think they just didn't know what to do with him after they took care of the story.
Yeah.
You know what's another thing I want in this series? I think we need a dancing pink shark.
Why not?
We can actually get that.
If there's a will, there's a way, Austin. If there's a will, there's a way.
Just get a kid scroll to watch the Nimona movie, and there you go.
Yeah. Okay. Random scroll person, watch this movie and turn into a pink shark.
Technically,
it's salmon, but we don't have to get into that.
Cryptid, what were you gonna ask me?
Yeah, I was about to say, Jake. You remember that scene at the end of Infinity War where Nick Fury pushes a button to summon Captain Marvel?
Yeah.
Oh, here's a plot twist. A Skrull is the one who gives that controller to the Avengers.
Oh, yeah. So
that was even then, a Skrull needed to help Nick Fury out with his shit.
To be fair, that's 100% possible.
That is completely possible.
But we don't know officially when Talos took over. Even though Nick Fury only went to space after this now.
Yeah. But
Nick Fury really went to space just to relax on a beach. Wow.
He wasn't even at a beach. He was in space. There's no beaches in space.
He's in far from home. He's in front of a screen with a fake beach. Yeah.
Well, I always took it as he was taking a break, but his real job was trying to set up the space defense for Earth or something.
Never forget, he had Talos nut up on Peter Parker for taking a break.
Right.
When Nick Fury took a break for 5 years.
Yes.
Speaking of that, I'm like, wait, where does this fit in line with Captain Marvel 2? Because I recall Nick Fury was in the trailers of Captain Marvel 2.
I think that's
honestly, who knows? Maybe
let's check his beard. Next week, we would watch the trailer again, and we're going to check his beard, and that's how we'll tell you where he is in life.
Probably pre.
Yep. We'll do that in the pre-show. We'll talk about it in the pre-show. All right.
Okay.
It's probably going to be pre though, because I feel like Nick Fury should have got Carol involved in this if she was available.
Yeah.
But that's Secret Invasion, the worst of the Marvel shows, unfortunately.
The snoozer invasion.
Audience, I almost fell asleep several times while talking about Secret Invasion. That's how boring this show is.
No.
All right.
Well, tell us what you think about Secret Invasion. Which plug in them socials.
Okay, cool. Well, first of all, like, comment, and subscribe on here. But if you want some random updates and the occasional retweeted stuff or memes, you can follow the Twitter at Comic Phanatics 69. You can bother us there, mostly me though. But if you just want to follow me with my adorable little avatar, you can follow me on Twitter at Witch of Jotun, just one word, but with an E instead of a U. And you can follow me on TikTok and Instagram and all other relating stuff at witch_of_Jotunheim. There is a link tree in several of my freaking things, so you can just follow the other socials there. But yeah, and last but not least, if you're going, and last but not least, if you're going to San Diego Comic-Con, feel free to say hi to me. I will be there.
No.
And also, don't try to find these other nerds on the socials. They don't really have anything you can find.
You can't follow me, but you can wish me happy birthday in comics. My birthday had just passed out.
Yay!
Yay! You're old now.
July 11th is officially my birthday as we're filming this.
Yay! Happy birthday, man! 1 year close to that gray. 1 year close to that gray hair, Austin.
1 year
close to getting put down.
But now we wish you the best, man. Round of applause.
Ooh.
Thank you, Jake wasn't excited at all. My heart hurts.
I was trying to find I was trying to find the right GIF to put in the chat, but they won't see it.
I got the right GIF. What are you talking about?
But hang on, let's end the video.